Fun. Good morning. Welcome to the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, Joshua Fenwick. I believe his middle name is Bartholomew. Happy to be with you today. Yes, oh, so close. So close. Bet365. Check out Bet365's early payout for baseball. When your team goes up by 5 runs, you get paid out immediately. No stress about blowing a big lead. Download the app and see what early payout is all about. We have a very good show lined up for you today. We're into pre-Friday, which is good. And I think it's going to be a nice weekend. We've got the football game coming up. Elks hosting the Argos, inching closer towards that. Yeah, it just feels like we're getting there, you know? We're getting there. I know people are getting antsy for hockey season. We're within a month of rookies reporting. So lots to talk about. Stretch drive for baseball, NFL action tonight, CFL action tonight. Ooh, it's going to be good. And yeah, we have a nice mix of guests today that I'm actually very excited about. Not that I'm not excited about our mix of guests most days or every day, to be honest, but some interesting stories. And then we've got some guests that are coming in studio. We're going to start today with Eric Scherger. He is now and has just been named an ECHL ref. He's from the Devon area. Was reffing in the JPHL recently. He's headed to the NHL officiating combine in Buffalo next week. Cool story. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. We'll have KK on. He's filling in for Speck this week as Speck is away, but it's been great catching up with Kevin Carius. Adam Peddle from Blue Jays Nation. Are they back? What is going on? What is it, 3 in a row? They've rattled off a couple against Boston here. 2 games back of Texas all of a sudden. Is it just smoke and mirrors or is it legit? I don't know. Adam will tell us. Sean Bell will be in studio at 9 a.m. He will be there or in here for the last couple hours of the show, our co-host. Zach Lang from Daily Faceoff Edmonton, the rebrand. Oilers Nation no more. It is Daily Faceoff Edmonton now, if you didn't catch it yesterday, across the nation network. New. Refreshing. Interesting. We'll ask him about the new branding and what that means for folks that take in their content and his. And then at 10 a.m., UFC fighter, welterweight division, Mike Malott, the Canadian kid, joining us in studio. It's going to be awesome. He'll be fighting at UFC Fight Night, October 17th at Rogers Place. His brother Jeff plays for the Anaheim Ducks now, formerly an LA King, briefly a Winnipeg Jet. Obviously an athletic family. And I remember when UFC Fight Night was here a couple of years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. I covered it. Not a big combat sports guy, but that was my first time covering a UFC. Second time being at an event. And I'll tell you what, the access that the media is given is incredible. And where they situate you in the arena is incredible. Front row. There were punches being landed, and we were getting splattered with whatever mixture of sweat, water, blood, Vaseline. It was wild. It was awesome. So Mike Malott will be joining us in studio, UFC fighter and Canadian kid. That will be really, really great. Let's welcome in Brandon Fenny. What up, Brando? What up, Fenny?
Morning. Good morning, Tommy. How you were golfing last night in the rain?
Yeah, well, I mean, Belzy wanted to go golfing, and a couple of friends, his friends that I met yesterday. Well, I met one of them before, but great crew. Just a fun night. The rain did dampen things, literally.
Yes.
and figuratively, but we went back out. The mosquitoes got really bad at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few people that took rain checks. We noticed because I think about, what was it, like 7-ish?
Well, so you were over in the southwest part of the city, down at River Ridge, one of the great tracks on the CCT.
That's right.
We were set to play slow pitch at 6:15 at John Fry, which is kind of more central, south, slightly eastish. And it started raining again quite heavily on my drive over there from here on the west end. And then it didn't really stop, maybe just for minutes at a time before the next wave came in. So from about 6 o'clock or even 5:45-ish, it didn't seem to let up and just drenched the field where we were going to play. So we didn't end up playing, even though the game had called on. We get there, the field's flooded.
Yeah.
We're not playing in this. So we pivoted and, just went up the road there to Happy Beer Street, found a spot where a couple of teammates had their kids with them, so we can go in, had a few pints, and went on our merry way into Wednesday evening. So a little disappointing we didn't get to swing them in a different regard than you were swinging them.
Yeah.
But a good Wednesday night all of a sudden.
It was a good Wednesday night.
Home nice and early so I could be in bed by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. That's not bad, actually.
Oh, I was loving it.
I think I went home, showered up. You got bug repellent all over.
Yeah.
Right? I've got the jungle juice. That stuff's like heavy duty.
Okay.
Yeah. And
my definition of jungle juice is a little bit different.
Okay, it's the Dr. Doom brand. Okay, it's a Dr. Doom brand, and it's called Jungle Juice. It's like
that's what's actually written on this can of bug spray?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen it.
You know what? It was a leftover from the 1260 golf tournament.
All right.
Because they were a sponsor, and they were on one of the holes. And I remember when we got to the Dr. Doom hole, the lady that was working it, very nice, but also I think quite intoxicated. And she was just in her bikini and jean shorts. And I think she was like Eastern European. And she's like, I don't want to take any of this home. Just take it all. And she gave us cans of supersized bug spray, this Dr. Doom stuff.
And you're still getting it done all these years later.
I still have like this super can in my golf bag. I used up all the sunscreen, but yeah, it stays on you, and it's nasty. So showered up and then got ready for the show. Yeah, about 10:45, I think I got into the wrapper, as they say.
As Kevin Carrius would say, into the old fart sack.
I understand why he would call it that. I just wouldn't. Yes, the fart sack, as they say, or KK would say.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was a good time outside of the rain, the inevitable storm, and I think it held us up for about 45 minutes. And
so how many holes did you actually play?
I think we got 14 in ultimately.
With a break in the middle?
With a big break in the middle. And most people, I'll tell you what, most people were lining up at the clubhouse for a rain check. And you could hear like those groups just be like, hey, we got to get the rain check because they'd only gotten a few holes in. And I think we're at that point now with the amount of moisture and precipitation we have gotten in the capital region this summer. People are like, I just don't want to deal with this. Screw it.
Yeah.
Screw it. And I don't blame them either because it was soggy after.
For sure.
And as much as the courses do everything in their power to get the water off the course, it's a huge area of land and you're never going to win, not with the amount of rain that we've gotten. So shout out to the crew at River Ridge. They were great. It was nice being out there. Nice to just play golf. It was a nice evening, honestly. Rain be damned, but yeah. It was good. Good crew. A lot of fun. Trek says Dr. Doom, best bug spray ever. Also a local Edmonton product. Yes, that's right. And Matt says Jungle Juice is goat bug spray. It is very potent stuff. But if you've used it, you know that it's like heavy duty. It is not like a friendly off-skin-tastic.
You're not using it on your nieces and nephews?
No, you're going to poison them. That's how potent it is. I think they have different variations, Dr. Doom of bug spray, but this stuff is like
the heaviest duty.
Oh, it's X-rated, I guess. I don't know. It's like you feel it after. I'm like, okay, I got to shower. Anyway, Fenny, how are you? Good morning. What did you do yesterday?
I did nothing yesterday. I think I ordered some Popeyes. They were running a 2-for-1 on Skip the Dishes. So I got that.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. Of nuggets. I don't normally get nuggets, but I was like, oh, this is a good deal.
I got some nugs last night.
Mm-hmm. And then, I promptly conked out at, I'd say probably about 6:30 at night.
Yeah.
And, I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning.
Whoa, you got a 12-hour in.
I needed it.
Well, you've been driving all over the place,
Yeah,
flying,
that
driving.
was, hold on. I better check something really quick.
You've been
first.
avoiding forest fires, wildfires. The
Yeah.
smoke today is like as
Yeah.
soon as I got to 149th Street.
It's something else.
Yeah.
I always thought the jokes about like, oh, I hate my mother-in-law were just jokes. I totally get it. I understand
Oh,
now,
no.
guys. We don't need to get into
Your
it anymore.
girlfriend's not
than
listening right now, is she?
that.
She's
No.
sleeping like an angel, I hope.
That is hopefully what is going on. But
Okay.
anyways, yes, I totally get those now. But hey, you know what? I just needed some R&R from my R&R. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Need to rest and recuperate from my
Okay.
vacation.
Well, 12-hour snooze will do that.
So hopefully everything's locked and loaded now. We'll see what happens.
Good.
Also, really close to my middle name, Bartholomew.
Yep.
You're basically right there. Duncan.
Really?
Yeah, some old-timey names.
Mine's
You were knocking on the door.
old timey.
I don't even think I could guess.
It's-
Is it Italian?
It's derived from my dad's middle name, which is Italian, but it's the English version. It's Lawrence.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got stuck with a couple of like
Hey.
basic names.
What? Is it Tom Lawrence? Gazzola is not basic.
No, but the first two are. I'm like, you're from Poland, Mom, and you're basically from Italy, Dad, and you came up with Thomas Lawrence, huh?
That's all right. I think every female in my family, their middle name is Marie. So
Oh.
let's not get too crossed up on basic middle names.
It's a tradition.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about you, Brando? Like Bartholomew middle name? Am I close? Am I in the ballpark?
No. My middle name is I hold close to the vest.
Gordon,
Gordon. No,
Alexander,
nothing like that. No.
Brandon.
You guys can guess all you want. It's
because his initials
moot.
would be bad.
badass.
Tobarth.
Tobar. Geronimo.
Oh, we're silly. We're silly. The Stair Farber check it in says, good morning, all. Have a great show. You know what? You can keep that in the vault. We'll find it out sometime. Yeah.
Try.
Wow. Like my dad.
Until you get my government ID or steal my online identity.
No, I will not even attempt to do so.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's a fortress.
Yeah. What is it? Fort Knox. Good luck. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, my dad's middle name's Lorenzo. And I ended up with Lawrence. So there's that thing. Stair Farmer, check it in. You can text us 1-833-401-1440. Hope you do all show long. Like I said, it's going to be a really neat show. Stair Farmer says, good morning, all. Have a great show. And then Shrek adds, no DEET in Dr. Doom. Okay, that's great. But whatever else they have is potent. And that's great. And then Radio Free Agent listener says, how is part-time Tommy doing this morning? Well, pretty good. Outside of the smoke, once I got towards the West End, that I started sneezing, and maybe I'm a bit congested. I apologize for that. Pretty good, all things considered. Little sore from the golf yesterday, but didn't do any warm-ups. Just got in there and gripped it and ripped it. Had a good time, despite the storm. So, yeah, it's going to be a good day. I have a good feeling about it. I was looking forward to this show when shout out to Kevin Rapinos from OEG and Neil from the UFC who take care of planning and booking and saying, hey, we can get you Mike Malott in studio. I said, that sounds awesome. I watched his fight because he did fight here last time at UFC Fight Night, which was very well attended. And it was an exciting fight. He does play up the Canadian kid thing. I think his last run of 7 or 8 fights, maybe even more, have specifically exclusively been in Canada, but he leans into it and he makes good. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's won 10 of his last 11 bouts. And he's looking to continue that streak at UFC Fight Night here in Edmonton, October 17th. Now, we have a couple minutes real quick. Brando, before the show, I asked you if you were a UFC guy, and I asked Fenny as well.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us are not UFC guys, but we appreciate combat sports to a certain extent, I would say.
I think the people that do it are insane,
Well-
but in the best kind of way because we get to reap the benefits of it from an entertainment factor. And
Yes.
I wouldn't describe myself as squeamish, when watching some of these fights, and there are some pretty gruesome injuries. You see guys' legs fold in half, and their faces are just bloodied and all. You know, it can be pretty rough, and I don't fault people that just turn their cheek and say, "Hey, not for me." But I will say, and you mentioned you've got the chance to go to a couple here in Edmonton, and I've never been to a UFC event. I've been to some boxing matches, including one over here at the River Cree with the good local product, Alexis Kubicki, as the headliner.
That's right.
Watched her defend a belt fight or title fight. Seeing combat sports in person, and in particular, a little up close and personal, it does really generate another level of appreciation for the sport, regardless of which combat sport it is, I would think. And as you said, Tom, can make you appreciate it that much more. The work that goes into it, you see how hard they train, and then you get stuff like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson on Netflix, and you say, what a complete waste of my time. This sucks. No wonder boxing's dying, all those things. No, there is still a lot of really good boxing out there. We know how huge UFC is, no matter what level, what arena. It's crazy. It's growing that fast and is incredibly popular across the entire world, not just here in North America. So I would love to see boxing make a little bit more of a comeback to be. It's never going to get to where it was, 50 or 75, even 100 years ago, where it's those are the most famous people in the world are the boxers, right?
Yes.
But just having that bona fide number one guy in the world, where I'm sure that exists, and I'm sure a lot of people could tell me who that is or who the contenders are, but it's just not the same as it used to be.
No.
Right? Where it's not as popular, where it was appointment television to go out with some friends or go to a bar, buy the fight, and watch a legitimate boxing match. UFC's kind of taken over that mantle on the combat side, and UFC's just a little too much for me personally.
Well, it draws an interesting crowd, I will say that. You can tell
some unique cats there around you. This little concern for your safety when you're watching up in the bleachers at Rogers, or what?
No, I'm fine, but
oh, you can handle yourself.
I'm a scrappy guy.
Tommy G,
scrappy guy.
Yeah, duking it out on the north side. You
don't duke it. Well, yeah, you get to fights, lose some, win some, cry a little, be happy about your wins. But no, you could tell that the air in the building is a bit different an hour or two into the event after some of the guys have been well lubricated, as they say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Benny, how about you with the UFC?
No, I'm not like a diehard individual, or I'm like, I couldn't even tell you if I could not tell you, who's ranked here, who's good, or what's gone on, or whatever. But I have a couple of buddies who are really into it, and so they sort of give me the 411, and then I'll go out to the bar and watch it with them. It sort of is an excuse for me to go out and just hang out with them, and then walk in for like the last two cards of the fight.
Yeah.
And bing, bang, boom. That's sort of how my Saturdays go sometimes, once a month.
That's just fine. And guess what? Mike Malot's the co-headliner of UFC Fight Night.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go. He'll be in at 10 a.m. And then as Kyle texts and says, Malot's the best. Love everything about him. Sick walkout song, too. Yeah. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to having him. I remember him having his press conference, and he was like really pumped up, amped up, and like great demeanor from what I remember. So I'm really excited to have him in studio with Belzy and I and Brando and Benny, and I think that's going to be great. So that's coming up at 10 o'clock. Mike Malott, UFC welterweight fighter, and we've got Eric Scherzer jumping on next. He is now an ECHL ref and a local product, heading to the NHL officiating combine next week, which is great. We need more officials. As much as they are the bane of my existence in sport, we need them. And we're going to talk to Eric and his journey. Former hockey player, like most officials, and I know they're fast-tracking a lot of guys who played decent levels of hockey, as they understand the game better than most. And those guys, especially the guys that played a little bit of pro, do end up making it to the NHL as refs a little bit quicker. So that's coming up next. We're going to step out for a quick breather here on the Gazzola Show. presented by Bet365.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
At GS Construction, we won't quit until we find a way to get the job done. And the right person makes all the difference. We're looking for our next superintendent, an experienced leader ready to take on the role. Because while GS Construction is building the water, sewage, and drainage systems Edmonton communities rely on, the superintendent is building up the team. If you know how to keep a job site safe, productive, and moving, we want to hear from you. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
$7:24 on a Thursday in the Big E. How are you? It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Join the conversation. Hit us up. Text line 1-833-401-1440. If you're watching on YouTube, good morning. Hello. Thank you. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and you can get into the chat as well on the YouTube side of things. Let's dive into our first guest of the show. We have a great show for you, like I mentioned in the first segment. He is Eric Scherger. He is now an ECHL official. He is a local product as well and is headed to the NHL's officiating combine in Buffalo next week. Good morning, Eric. Congratulations on the new gig, first of all. And how excited and pumped are you to be making the jump to pros on a full-time basis?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a big jump from junior to pro, but excited for what the future holds for sure.
Yeah, how big of a step? Give us some context here, because I know there's people that love reffing minor hockey, coaching minor hockey, moving up to the junior ranks as well. But then you get into the pros, and like I was saying in the first segment, knowing some officials, they're fast-tracking guys now to the big leagues. Is this kind of that big step towards it?
Yeah, I think it's obviously the next step. I know there's a big jump from reffing like a midget AAA to a junior A level.
Yep.
And then I've talking with guys who have recently skated the East Coast League, and they say it's just an even bigger jump from junior A to pro, just because of, especially in the East Coast, of where you could have a really calm game and then flip of a switch and guys are swinging at each other and you got to kind of tame them down.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, the ACHL is not known for its politeness and nice play and, European influenced hockey by any means. So,
Right.
how does your mind have to shift to handle a bunch of animals, to be honest?
Yeah, just kind of always be on your toes. Be kind of be watching for it, and like if you can just communicate with the guys, and if they want to go, let them go, but do it in a manner where you don't got to deal with them too much.
Fair enough. And like some guys will respect you. And then, as you know, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you've experienced, some just don't even hear a word you say, or it's in one ear and
yeah.
out the other. But given the fact, like you played junior hockey, when you were done, how did you come about making the decision that you wanted to get into officiating? Because not everybody wants to go that route in the game. I made the joke, and I was serious. Like I was crappy to refs when I was playing
Yeah,
minor hockey, when I was playing junior. I was a total a hole to them, and
yeah.
I shouldn't have been, but I recognized that I was. But what kind of made you decide you wanted to take this route?
Uh, Coming out of junior hockey, I had a few like scholarships to go play in the States, and then just figuring out, do I like I knew I was gonna go play, but I didn't know what I was gonna take in school, so I was kind of deciding on, do I take another 4 years off, kind of going to school, going to play hockey, or do I kind of just get on and start working and go from there? And then, but obviously, you want to stay a part of the game. So then I started reffing, and then got picked up last year by the BCHL, and Brad Lazarowicz kind of seen something in me and got me to the NHL Combine, and hopefully something comes out of it.
Well, if Brad Lazarowicz is the one recognizing your talent as an official and how you can handle a game in all kinds of situations, I think you're probably in a good spot because he did it for such a long time at a very high level. Now, I'll follow up with this, Eric. How much of an advantage does having played good hockey, especially recently, give you in calling games now?
It does help. Like, I obviously just put myself in like a coach's shoes or a player's skates of like, hey, is this a good time to call one? And then just the communication side of talking with coaches and reasoning with them and just being like, hey, talk to me like a human. I'll tell you what I've seen. If you don't like it, we can go from there. But yeah, it definitely helps, like being on the other side of the whistle.
Yep. Yeah, I would think so, and especially being able to relate. Like you've brought up communication multiple times. What do you find works with different types of coaches and then different types of players too? Because some guys are quiet, but some guys let you know how they feel and then some.
Yeah, basically, like communication, I think, is the biggest part of the game for a ref to a team aspect of, say, if a coach is kind of losing it on you, you want to give him a few shifts, see if he cools down. If you can go over and chat with him, you can have that chat. And then if you can't chat with him, you obviously want to use his captains, and usually one of the captains or someone will kind of relate with you, and then you can communicate through him. But one of the biggest things is you never want to light a coach up in front of his players, because that's just the biggest FU to them. So you always want to just have a good communication relationship with them.
Yeah, I remember my junior coach. He was not given that courtesy because he had a terrible reputation and was not that kind to officials through and through. So he never got that courtesy. I think it wore out in his second year coaching in the league that he coaches in. All right, we're with Eric Scherzer. He is on his way to the ECHL as a referee and is also headed to Buffalo for the NHL officiating combine, which starts August 20th. Give us the scope of the officiating combine. What does it mean? What can you get out of it? Who will be there? Because we know about like NHL, like the combine when it comes to prospects and all of that. But for officials, what does this entail?
Yeah, it's a grind from what I hear. A lot of guys that I skate with in the BCHL have went. I know a few guys that work the American League that have went, and they say it's a grind mentally, physically, and just puts you in game shape for the season. And then there's East Coast Hockey League officials there and reps that will if you want to go to the next level, they'll be there watching you. And it's just the stepping stone. If you want to go there, people will be there to watch you and get you to the next level.
Yeah, so it's like a networking opportunity as well, and
Exactly,
they
yeah.
get to press the flesh and all of that, which is important. How much politicking happens in the officials world? Because we know about it in the game and on the players management side and coaches side of things. You hear about it all the time, but is there a lot of that on the officiating side? Like, is there like, hey, I'll do you a favor, I've known this guy for a long time, and this and that? How would you describe that aspect of the officials world?
I'm not, don't really know too much about that. I just know if you're in great physical shape, you know, you have great knowledge of the game, you're a great skater, I'm sure they'll give you a chance.
Good point. You see some of the linesmen now, they look like bouncers on skates. Some of these guys are 6'5", 6'6", just jacked up. But when you're a ref, you don't really need to be that, right? But you need to manage the game. What happens when a game gets out of hand and you got to settle things down? How do you go about taking care of that?
Like I said, just communication, go back to the coaches and being like, hey, this is getting out of hand. We're going to start throwing 10s around, maybe cool everybody down, or just communicate with the coaches, honestly, if you guys really want to do this all night, the box is going to get full.
That's a good threat. I appreciate that one. Do you ever jump into the pile if you need to?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but when when the linesmen are both busy and one guy's just going to town on one guy, obviously you want to jump in for player safety and make sure he's not getting taken advantage of.
Oh, that is the right answer, and I hate it so much. But yes, that is the right answer.
Not cool for the fan aspect,
No.
but player safety wise, you want to get in there.
Oh, you are such an official. That's why you're on your way to the pros, Eric. Okay,
Yeah.
here's one for you. What is one of the most obscure rules in hockey that you learned about after becoming a ref?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I know, and I'm sorry. I kind of thought of it last minute last night when I was prepping for the show. But what's one where you're like, what the hell? I did not know that. That's interesting.
Well, a new one is, so say a guy's coming down, he's in player and he loses his neck guard, and then you're telling him to get off the ice because he's got his no neck guard, and then he goes down and scores a goal. That goal will be washed out because he doesn't have a neck guard on.
The neck guard. Okay. And that's starting to get into the pro ranks. So it is very relevant. I know in the AHL, they were wearing neck guards and they're mandatory.
The NHL just grandfathered in the rule of you got to wear, if this is your first season in the NHL as a player, you got to wear a neck guard. And then, so yeah, it's coming.
It is coming. Good point. And that's a good reminder. Eric, thank you for the time. Congratulations. Have fun. Gossip, network, do whatever you got to do to take the next step because, as you know, they need good refs and they're hard to come by. And guys that have played the game usually have a leg up on those that have just got into reffing just as something to do or as a job. So awesome stuff, man. Really appreciate it and have fun and good luck, okay?
Thank you, guys.
There you
Have
go.
a good one. You guys are beauties.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Eric Scherger, ECHL official, just hired by the league. He's off to the officiating combine starting August 20th. That is also in Buffalo, where the scouting combine does occur. He is a product of Devon Minor Hockey Association, proud product there. And the right answer, I was hoping he would crack. Just give me some of that player side.
Tommy, how many FU matches have you gotten into personally with officials, linesmen, referees, doesn't matter, over your decorated hockey career?
My decorated, my junior B glory. I would not get into FU matches, but when I would say something, it would be very rude.
Yeah, you try and cut them deep.
Well over the line.
You know.
And I would take a ref from 0 to 150 because if I thought he was a piece of crap and he was having a piece of crap game, I would have like one or two lines and I would hit him with it, and I would be threatened with a penalty or worse. But he would know how I felt. And then like if there were like scrums and stuff like that, and I saw something I didn't like, or just to be an a-hole, I would
Right.
be like, what are you doing?
You ever
Why did you do
say,
that?
go eat another donut, you fat pig?
I did not. I've never pulled
Oh.
a Jim Schoenfeld.
Oh, okay.
But my old coach with the Edmonton Red Wings, Wally Course, local legend,
Right.
said some things I had never heard in my lifetime at that point.
As a young person, and there's so much talk about, the impressions that coaches can leave on young players.
Yes.
Whether you're 14 or 16 or 20, if you're playing a little bit of junior or something. Listen, some guys I think go over the line, but sometimes it's just so funny that even as a player in the heat of the moment, you can't help but smile and giggle a little bit and kind of think, what did he just say? And I had a few coaches like that over my years too. And listen, you talk about your claim to glory at junior B. Mine's senior A. That's
I can only imagine what goes on in those games.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And even junior B, you're of the vintage being about 10 years older than me, where to me, watching junior B, I've got to see it kind of evolve a little bit over time. Because growing up in Delburn, there was team in Red Deer and team in Stettler. And
Red Deer was very good.
Usually, and the Stettler Lightning, great program. And it was like a dream. Like, man, if I can really make it in hockey, I'll play for the Lightning as junior B hockey in Central Alberta. But that's, come from a small town.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you aspire to. Comparing junior B that I felt like I was watching when I was 12, 14 years old compared to now, I went back and watched my brother-in-law play it. This is still already 5+ years ago.
Yeah.
When he was playing for Stettler, it was like night and day. They didn't even look like the same sport.
They
took the jungle out of Jungle B a little bit.
100%. You know what, Brado? Like, I go watch my old junior B team when I can, once or twice this season.
Oh, you're that guy. You hit down to the locker room, rub elbows with them.
No,
like,
I try.
Back in my day, fellas.
Cam Moon and I went to, we call it a Red Wing Wednesday, where we go visit. We're both from the north side, so we would go to Capital Steak and Pizza in Londonderry, and then go over to watch the Red Wings play. A couple of years ago, my old coach, Wally, brought us in to talk to the guys after, and I'm like, these guys don't care who we are, but they're very receptive. It was great. No, don't like talking to the players. Mooner's like, we're never doing that again. I'm
never
like,
do
no,
that again.
we're just gonna go watch, have a good time, and reminisce about growing up on the north side. But you're right. Like, even you watch junior A now, a lot has changed. A lot has changed.
Just like hockey in general, I think, right? It's so much more speed and skill based. And if you were showing up back in the day to a junior B game, you wanted to see probably at least a few fights, some hits that you weren't sure the guy was going to get up from them and might need to be like drug off the ice by his blades. Not quite as common anymore.
No, and it's
front.
too bad. And like, we would have, here's an example, like we would have 70 players show up for the start of training camp, right? And it was a quick camp because it was after junior A and WHL camps were done. And you basically knew who was on the team, but there are a few spots that were open, and you get some half decent players. It was all midget AAA, midget AA guys, some guys who had come down from junior A, some guys that ended up coming down from the WHL actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty competitive. And now, talking to my buddies who I played with, Red Wings, who went on to coach the team, they said that they're having a very hard time recruiting kids now to go play. And I asked how many guys showed up for training camp a few years ago, and my buddy was like 26. Like,
really,
we had to card everybody, and some guys suck.
Yeah,
and I'm like, geez, what happened? He goes, kids aren't playing hockey; they're into other stuff. It's not the same. People don't think of it the same way. The level's different. And the way the hockey landscape has changed, minor hockey, and obviously we're watching NCAA, WHL, CHL, all that changing the game where it is affecting junior A, junior B. Like it's way different. But I remember my cousin who played for Spokane for a year came back and played for St. Albert. I played against him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This guy, he's 6'5", he was a fighter. And I remember the first game I played against him, I dangled him, and I got a crappy opportunity at the net. And then there's a scrum in front, and I was pushing away at him, and he looks at me. I'm like, settle down, Sean. And he looks, and he grabs my head, and he goes, Tommy, I was going to kill you. And then he got into a fight with the biggest guy on my team, whose name was Chad Brune. He was 6'6", just a nice guy with a 100-mile-an-hour slap shot from Manning, Alberta.
Shout out Manning.
Shout out Manning.
Beautiful peace country.
And he was a very peaceful guy, except when you got him pissed off, look out. And those two went toe-to-toe one night.
What was his name, sorry?
Chad Brune.
Okay, I'm going to have to... I know quite a few people of Manning. I'm going to text and see.
Great guy. And my cousin and him had this epic fight. And I actually felt concerned for my cousin, who was a fighter in the WHL briefly. So it's changed. It has changed. It's a shifting landscape in the hockey world, and junior A, junior B is obviously been affected by it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what a diatribe. I'm going to read a couple of texts, so we're going to go to a break. We have a big announcement coming up. Very exciting for music lovers. Right after the break. King of Fort Nasty says, we used to go to the Vegreville Junior B fights to maybe see a little bit of hockey. Cheers. King of Fort Nasty, 100%. I remember we would go to Wetaskiwin and it would get rowdy in there, especially on a Friday night. We always have to get a firefighter or RCMP escort out to our bus. That did happen. One team's tires got slashed by fans. I can't remember which team it was. I have all kinds of stories like that, but you hear some of the other leagues and how that's the show in town. And it gets rowdy, and I get it. I 100% get it. I know when I was in Lloydminster, I went to Lloydminster to try out for the Blazers before they became the Bobcats. Was supposed to stay there or go back there, and they had a very good junior B program with the Bandits, and quite popular. And Mark Letestu started with the St. Paul Canadians, I believe, junior B before going to the Bonnyville Pontiacs. So there's good hockey players. It's a matter of getting opportunity and working your way up. Rob texting in says, old Wally course. I used to ref Capital Junior way back when. Good times. Warriors versus Red Wings were quite the battle. Yes, I was right in the middle of a lot of those. Mike from Kindersley says, I have a couple of FU matches reffing senior, junior A, and WHL. I would retort with all of their mistakes in the game and tell them their teammates were punished for having them on their line. Mike from Kindersley, that is brilliant. Very well done. Very well done. Eddie in Red Deer says, my midget coach was about to get kicked out of a game when he yelled at the referee, you're a facetious SOB, and threw a stick on the ice. Yeah, see, it's stuff like that happened. I'm going to read some of these coming out of the break. And then Rage Texter, you get the last line. Very well done. Tommy sounding like Uncle Rico. Back in my day, I used to be able to throw a ball a quarter mile. Very well done. Lots of texts coming in. Keep those coming out. We got crazy stories about refs and skirmishes and junior B and junior A and wherever you were. I want to hear them. I love stories like that. 1-833-401-1440. Coming up after the break, we have a big announcement concert-wise. This is the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
What if one moment changed everything? The turn of the key to your dream home, the roar of the crowd from your Oilers season seats, the trip you've always talked about. With the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery, winning is just the beginning for you and for them. You could win the $2.4 million grand prize show home plus $100,000 cash and more incredible prizes. And every ticket makes a life-changing difference for Stollery kids and their families. Change lives. Support Stollery kids. Be mighty. Get your tickets now at mightymillionslottery.com.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$48, good vibes on a Thursday. A little BA at this time of the day with, I believe, Mel B? C. I'm sorry. I don't know my Spice Girls as well as I used
Name
to.
them all right now, Tom. Come
Name
on.
them all. Posh Spice, Sporty Spice, Baby Spice, Scary Spice, and
Ginger
Spice. Oh, Ginger Spice. She was lovely.
They were all pretty lovely.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite?
Victoria Beckham.
Posh.
Yeah, just even now when I see her, I'm like, oh, you're an angel.
And when they were actually popular, I was just very young and growing up in the sticks, not really on my radar. I think I maybe saw like the Spice Girls movie at one point when I was a kid, like my sisters watched or something. I don't even remember. But now in adulthood, when Mel B came one of the judges on America's Got Talent, I was like, oh my God.
You know what?
This is one of the most attractive women I've ever seen in my life.
There are layers to her.
She's Scary Spice.
Yeah, but I don't see her as scary. She's like
beautiful.
They're all, if you look at them now, they're always like good looking, right? But now they're like beautiful, and you're like, wow, that's an impressive woman.
Maybe that's just us growing up, Tom.
Maybe we're growing up, Brando.
Maybe we're old.
I refuse to accept it. But
yeah, that's okay.
That's also possibly what is going on here. Okay, we have an announcement to make. Do we have the sound? Fire it up, baby. All right, Sports 1440 welcomes Luke Combs' My Kind of Saturday Night Tour 2027, supported by Treaty Oak Revival, Avery Anna, Shenandoah, Wyatt McCubbin, Saturday, May 29th, Commonwealth Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday, August 21st, 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. We'll be running a text to win contest for Beat the Box Office tickets, so please keep it locked into all of our stations, obviously here on Sports 1440, K97, CFCW, and big announcement. That is a huge concert tour coming through town. I'm not a big country guy, but even I'm like, this is a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
This is a big deal.
As the in-house country guy, I'll wear that crown with pride. It's a huge deal. He was here a couple of years ago, Commonwealth sold out show. It was like Lainey Wilson was here with him that time. Great get. So it's a different crowd than the last time he was here. So like different opening acts, which is awesome. Treaty Oak Revival, a little more of kind of the old school, like neo classical country music.
Okay.
A lot of the traditionists really like them. Avery Anna, very hot, new on the scene. She's almost like metal and rock mixed with country music, kind of southern rock thing.
Really?
Yeah, and not too hard on the eyes either.
Like Ella Langley?
No.
Is
Different.
Ella Langley a different level?
Ella Langley's different. Yeah, for
big,
sure.
Big fan of hers.
I'm sure you are. Yeah. And then this is honestly, anybody that listens to this show regularly or over the past couple years knows Shenandoah. These are legends of the 90s.
Cool.
It's a group band. Harmonies are unreal. They're pretty old now, but if you follow them on socials, they can still absolutely belt it. So that'll be what I'm looking forward to. I went to Morgan Wallen last year, pretty much exclusively to see Brooks and Dunn.
Yep.
I will be interested in going to the show exclusively to see Shenandoah.
Awesome.
Unreal. This is a pretty big get. Another great get for Edmonton and Commonwealth Stadium to have Luke Combs come back.
Luke Combs, My Kind of Saturday Night Tour 2027. That will be May 29th. That's a Saturday, so people will be fired up. Hopefully the weather obliges as well at Commonwealth Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday, August 21st at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. And then we're going to be running a text to win contest for Beat the Box Office tickets. So if you're a Luke Combs fan, which a lot of people are, big tour announcement coming through good old E-Town and playing Commonwealth. And listen, you talk about Shenandoah, like we had AC/DC last weekend.
Unreal.
And I know they're in their mid to late 70s, but people were saying the show, the music, even their performances, no, they're not in their late 20s, early 30s or 40s, and they can't move like they used to, but they performed.
Yeah.
And
they still lay it all out there.
And yeah, the energy, I was told yesterday that the energy that the guys on stage gave off, even though they're old, you could feel it and you reciprocated in the audience. Plus you're listening to classics and all that.
Yeah.
It's a good vibe. But
no doubt.
So Commonwealth shows my last experience sucked because there was an absolute
a small biblical storm that rolled through.
Yes, I think a small tornado passed overhead, and unfortunately, I only got to hear Jelly Roll preach, and then only got 3 songs from Post Malone, unfortunately. But hopefully that is not the case with this, and it's a good time.
And just on to put a bow on that, Tom. Here,
yes.
we got this email from our great promo people here down the hallway, Brent and Marissa, last night. It's like, we have a major concert announcement tomorrow, and Live Nation, who is the company putting on the tour, obviously, wanted to include Sports 1440.
That's awesome.
Are we blowing up?
We're a thing now.
Some people are saying.
I've
heard that scuttle out there.
I'm honored if that is the case.
We're in the concert announcement business now.
That's cool.
I think that means we've made it.
It means something. And I think it's positive. So very cool to announce that. Thank you, Marissa, and our crew for allowing us the opportunity and being part of announcing Luke Combs coming to Edmonton, May 29th, Commonwealth Stadium. Tickets go on sale August 21st. Great stuff. And I'm glad you hit that button too. We came up with something like, you got a button for that? And then Brando's like, I got a button for that. Okay, couple of texts because the officiating stories and Eric coming on talking about his journey now an ECHL ref, and then subsequent discussions about stuff we've done with refs on the ice and in the heat of battle led to a ton of texts, which a lot of them I actually laughed at. The Uncle Rico one I thought was hilarious. Here's what from Roger says. All of us at work wish Shugs all the best. He's a beauty. NHL next. Let's go. So some well wishes for Eric, which is fantastic. So I'm very happy to hear that. Mason says, please tell Eric congrats from me. And then Bryce, your line to the officials, I am not going to read on the air, but that's pretty funny. Brew Crew texted in, says, my daughter has become a high-end ringette ref. The craft of calling a ref game takes a lot of time and dedication by the individual. All the refs I know came from playing the respective game. Brew Crew. And that's a good point. And you know what? It's easy to forget that when you're playing and you're battling, and then you've got to deal with a ref who you think is being unfair, or a dink, as I used to call them. But you do need to remember that they are people too. Yep. I'm going through these as best as I can because there's some that have a lot of expletives in them, and I'm laughing. This one from Eddie in Red Deer says, my midget coach was about to get kicked out of a game when he yelled at the ref. Oh yeah, I read that one. Mike and Kindersley, I read that one. Doug says, I've been involved with one of the local junior B hockey teams, either as a trainer, a manager, or board of director. We have definitely noticed a decline in the amount of players coming out to try out at the start of the year. Sometimes we basically just have a team. We've found that this is directly related to the amount of kids who drop out of hockey a lot of times. due to the cost from Pee Wee hockey on all the way up. Yeah, Doug, that's a good point. And so I'm not crazy. It's not just my old team. It's obviously other teams as well that are affected by this. SKS says, that wouldn't happen like a Critters game. Speed, skill, pure entertainment. Can't wait to have you in the roster, Tommy G. We always have FU matches with the Critters ref. Can't wait. My brother wants to play Critters. I have to ask KK if that's kosher. I know Marty's in charge of that, but yeah, my brother, he's a good time. He's a good time. Ricky in the Donut says, I used to head to Hobima, now Masquachese, to watch the Hawks play Junior A. I heard those were wild. Versus the Red Deer Rustlers, where my classmate buddy Dave Hackstall roamed the blue line. You had to stay on your side and leave the rink early there, especially if the visitors won. It's too bad what happened to the Hawks. It seemed like a good program for the locals. I had heard about the Hawks. And yeah, I mean, you go into some small towns like Brando was saying, like even the senior A team or the men's team is the show in town on a weekend. And people want to get fired up and mix in some beverages and some action on the ice or the pitch or whatever, and it can get a little feisty. This one from Crow's Nest Oilers says, Tom, the KIJHL back in the 80s and early 90s definitely put the jungle in Junior B. I had a few buddies play on the old Elk Valley Raiders. That's from Crow's Nest Oiler. And you know what? The KI has it's been elevated to a Junior A league in recent years with the BCHL going independent. And my friends that are in the Idaho, Washington area that now coach high-level hockey and academies down there, they talk about the KI very highly. And like there's a lot of good players that have, is my understanding, gone through the KI onto bigger and better things. So whenever I hear about it, I'm fascinated by the KIJHL. Apparently, Tiger says you have to tell me the story of the song, the Mel B or Mel C song. Save that for the break. Huss says, Tommy, AC/DC was 10 out of 10. They love to perform, and you can tell. Huss, yeah, that's the message I was getting, that the energy they gave off was reciprocated by the crowd, and it was really, really good time. And then Matt and LeDuc, you get the final word. A lot of ref and official text coming in. Keep them coming in because I love these stories. Try to keep them as radio friendly as possible because I'd like to read them. Matt and LeDuc says, I heard a guy call a ref a feminine hygiene product one time. The ref didn't blink. He just looked at the guy and said, just because I spent so much time, I'm just going to leave it there. Even the guy's teammates couldn't stop laughing. It was a mom joke. It was a mom joke. That is so over the line. Matt and LeDuc, thank you for that. Let's keep them as clean as possible. All right. We got to take a break. We're going to get to a sports update. When we come back, Kevin Karius is going to share some stories about things he said to refs. And we'll continue on here. This sports update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165.
The Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays battle back last night. Jose Soriano going 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run, and the Jays offense scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th to take a third straight over the Red Sox 6-4. Around the rest of the major leagues, Orioles falling to the Twins 7-5. Rays doubling up on the Athletics 8-4. Alex Bregman 3 home runs in a single game, first time in his career, as the Cubbies top the Nats 12-6. And in the nightcap, Shohei Ohtani homers again. Dodgers beat the Royals 4-2. Coming up in hour 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Edmonton media legend Kevin Karius, as well as Adam Peddle from Blue Jays Nation. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Why tee off at the Ranch Golf and Country Club?
A fun, unique layout offering premier conditions.
The ranch has been ranked as one of the top public courses in Canada.
Unmatched value. Score Golf Magazine rated the ranch as the best value in Edmonton.
The service, from tournaments to special events to the pro shop. Superior service that makes every visit exceptional.
The Ranch Golf and Country Club, a laid-back environment where anyone can enjoy an amazing day on the fairways. For details, visit theranchgolf.com.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All Star Construction on Indeed.
Hi, Edmonton. If the Subaru Outback is on your wish list, now's the time to act. With only limited inventory available, these award-winning SUVs won't be here for long. The Outback has earned an IIHS top safety pick or higher for 17 consecutive years, combining legendary Subaru capability, confidence in every season, and the versatility to take you almost anywhere. Reserve yours today before they're gone. Visit your local Subaru dealership today. Welcome to Uncommon.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Casino. Download now to check out over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Survivor and hundreds of live dealer games. Unlock Vegas magic and sign up for the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 2, it's the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. That was a little Luke Combs for you. We just made the concert announcement. He is coming through town May 29th, 2027. Tickets go on sale August 21st, 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. But you could beat the box office with all of our wonderful stations, especially here at Sports 1440. Very cool to announce that earlier in the show. All right, keep those texts coming in. Stories of back in your glory days. Maybe you're playing a level of junior hockey and some crap hit the fan and you had an interaction with an official. I'm loving the texts that have come in. Like just all of a sudden after we had Eric Scherger on, who's going to the ECHL as a ref. He was on at 720 telling us his story and his path. He had played in the KIJHL and then ended up becoming a ref. And then all of a sudden, just like boom, 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 all these stories. A lot of them have some inappropriate elements to them. I'm laughing at a lot of them. I'm trying to read as many as I can, but feel free to text those in, and we'll kind of keep them going as we continue on throughout the show. Time now to bring in Kevin Carius. He is filling in for Spec with On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Employee pricing extended into August on every car, truck, or SUV. And be sure to check out the Corvette showroom. Stop in and see their great selection at northgategm.com. Go say hi to Mike and the crew as we welcome in KK, which has been an absolute treat all along. Listen, I know you're no altar boy. I know that you definitely had run-ins with officials during your junior days. And then I know you went and played, you said SATE, so you had a little ACAC action in there. Like, and you still strap them on and you skate well, KK. It's always fun to play hockey with you, and I'm looking forward to suiting up for the Critters. We have to talk about that on this segment.
Yeah.
because my brother keeps pestering me about it. So we'll get to that later. But tell me you have a story of something way over the line with an official from back in the day.
You kidding me, Tommy? I was a church mouse out there.
As
Didn't
if
say a word. Didn't say a word to anybody.
You with your quick wit and your
the best line, and I wasn't there, but a good friend of mine was playing for Terry Simpson for the Prince Albert Raiders. I can't say it on the air, but that's the best line that I've ever heard. And he never got a 2-minute penalty, never got anything, called the referee over to the bench. And it was the way he, as I was told, expressed his displeasure about the officiating. It's still the best line. I think I've told Duke it. I can't say it on the air because there's too many bad words in it, but I'll tell you someday. That's the best one.
I can't wait, but you got to give me something here.
Well, as I said, he never got a bench minor. He never got tossed because he was calm and he was very deliberate in his messaging to the official.
Yeah.
And because he didn't make a scene, it was just sort of quietly whispering in his ear about his, again, displeasure for some of the calls that were going the wrong way.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't get the penalty. The one line that I heard that was one of the better ones too, and I was playing in the game, was an old teammate of mine that said, yelled over the boards. He said, "Come on, ref, if you had another eye, you'd be a cyclops."
That's pretty good.
Pretty clean.
That's pretty clean, yeah.
I was lucky enough when I was a young guy. I was a linesman in one of the Saskatchewan senior leagues. I was 15 years old, and I would go on the road, Tommy, with one of the referees in particular. His name was Leo Parker. Leo Parker and the Parker family in Saskatchewan, massive. So it'd be Leo's granddad played. The rink was named after him in Humboldt. It was the Bob Parker Arena, very close with Glen Hall and all that. And things like that. But Leo and I would go to a lot of these small towns to do games. And we were in this one town one night, and it was about halfway through the second period. And I went up to Leo and I said, I gotta go to the dressing room. And like it was during a whistle. And he goes, "Why?" He says, "You gotta go to the bathroom, you got problems or something?" And I go, "No, I forgot my whistle." So I had gone the whole half a period without a whistle. I never had to make a call, but finally I looked down and it's not there. So that was one of the things I remember about officiating back in the day.
It can't be easy, and you know what? Like the older I get, the more I'm like, don't be a jerk towards refs. But you hear about the refs in the NHL and the pro ranks. It's way different, KK, than guys and girls working their way up through minor hockey, minor ringette, minor sports, even into like the junior programs and collegiate programs.
Yeah.
But you hear some of the stories about the guys in the NHL. I remember having like this great conversation with Riley Shahan, Jujar Kara, and a few other guys. And it started with, I asked them, like, why are the linesmen having conversations with you guys when they're dropping a puck in the neutral zone? Like, why does it need to be a conversation with both guys taking the draw and then like a couple of fake outs on the drop? And that just like created this whole conversation. We talked for like 10 minutes. And by the end of it, there's like 4 or 5 of us in this little pile just making fun of refs.
Yeah.
But now in the NHL, like, you'll see printouts of guys' faces with their names and numbers underneath, and they want to be referred to by their first name, and they want to be your buddy, and they want to talk to you. And if you don't know them and just call them ref, or they get offended. I remember the Dallas Stars on the visiting bench when we have our skates together at Rogers. They had taped all this white tape on the bottom of the bench on the inside, and they had the number and the first name of each one of those refs in that game that night when they faced the Oilers. Like, it's way different, I feel like, in the show because they are a part of the show compared to the honest, hardworking officials trying to get to the show, right?
Yeah, very fair. And you see that, when we do have the alumni skates, right, Tommy? They have that on the bench. A lot of the opposition teams have it on the bench.
Yes.
Number, name, everything. So they can be. And the other thing, too, is you want to be, I think as a pro player, you want to, and even maybe at whatever level, if you can be personable with the official, you
Yeah.
never know. You might get a call down the road. If I'm not saying they're buddy, but hey, at least if you know my name and you know who I am, you might get maybe a little bit of leeway somewhere down the road. Yeah, I got to tell you one more quick story if you don't mind.
I would love that.
This is a 100% true story. And you know Chris Cahill, obviously, and I think a lot of our Chris was, he does security for the Oilers now, but he did security with the NHL and the officials for many, many years. So this
Great
is
guy.
back in the Rexall days. A buddy of mine, Chopper Lopatinsky, we went to the game. I wasn't working that night, so we'd had a few pops. So we're going to meet Chris Cahill at the bar down by the where the Oilers come out.
Yep.
So one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, time's got away from us. The game's obviously over. We can't find him, and we get a hold of him. And he's at Sherlock Holmes. So he says, "Come on down." So we go down to Sherlock Holmes, and he's got 4 guys with him. And Chris Kyle, for those that you don't know, really good shape for an old fart. Former EPS, so he looks the part the whole bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get in there, and there's 4 guys with them, and they got crew cuts, mustaches. They're all good buff guys and whatever. And they kind of recognized who I was, and they said, "What did you think of the Oilers wearing the new jerseys? Because that's the first game they wore the orange jerseys."
Oh, okay.
So I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, where we were, they really popped on the ice." And I go, did you guys have good tickets? Did you see them? And the one guy goes, "We were the 4 officials." And it was Kelly Sutherland. It was, I don't think, Lonnie Cameron. And I can't remember the 2 other guys, but boy, oh boy, I sure felt like a putz when I said that.
Whatever, Kate. I mean, there's not 18,500 people going to watch the refs, unfortunately, but they are an integral part of the game. And I'm sure those guys handled it better than some of the newer wave of refs that need to be kind of coddled a little bit. But that is pretty funny. And at least you're honest, right? That
You guys have good tickets.
Did you have good tickets? Well, we were front row center skating with the guys. Okay, well, speaking of uniforms, and I'm glad you kind of segued this on your own, which is great. I'm curious to know what you think. The Islanders put out a competition to their fan base. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, that they wanted their fans to design the team's next 3rd jersey. And they got 80,000 submissions. Now, listen, some of them were probably absolute crap, but some of them are decent. And it's down to the final 8, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're doing a fan vote. Is that, in your opinion, brilliant marketing or a bit crazy to do something like that?
The Islanders have had so many questionable 3rd jerseys and whatever other jerseys. So maybe this time, because the fans are involved, maybe they get it not right, but better than what they've had before. So to be honest with you, I don't have that big of a problem with it, unless we see the winner or the final jerseys. If they're so outlandish, then yes, again, then it's a fail. But maybe someone in the fan base has some sort of artistic flair that they can come up with something that's obviously better than the Captain Highliner and all that other stuff. So I don't have that big of a problem with it until I see it. Then we'll see.
Yeah, the final ones that they're down to are actually half decent, and they did have Captain Highliner in there, and a couple of them. I don't know if they'll get the final vote, but
Stan Fischler sure liked it, didn't he?
Didn't he like rip it?
No, because everyone like Stan Fischler, like a lot of people said that looks like Stan Fischler in there because he covered the Islanders for 100 years.
Well, he covered every team for 100 years. I think he's still covering teams.
I think he is, but he's New York based. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stan Fischler likes Stan Fischler, from what I understand. I've met him a couple of times.
That's why he liked that jersey.
Of course. They honored him by making a logo with him as the guy front center. Yeah. I actually have one of those jerseys. You know how they brought them back a couple of years ago for the reverse retro program?
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy works for the Islanders. He's the writer for the website. And he reached out and he's like, would Jason Strudwick be willing to wear one of these and take a photo of it? Because we want prominent alumni to show off the jersey. I said, I'll ask Struddy. So I went to Struds and I'm like, hey, the Islanders want you to put on this jersey, take a photo of it, and then post it on social media. And I'm like, selfishly, Struds, I want the jersey.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
have your name and number on it. And then I would ask you to sign it to me, and then I'll get it framed up. And he goes, oh, God, I hate the Islanders, but I'll do it for you. And he did. And I have that jersey hanging in my office at home.
Well, anything that Struds would put on right now is better than his current wardrobe.
He's Swedish, isn't he?
I don't know what it is.
He claims to be Swedish. Okay, let's shift gears. Are you following the Blue Jays much?
Oh, absolutely.
Every day.
I follow the Jays more than, well, and baseball, and the Duke would know that. Baseball is my favorite sport, so I follow pretty well, not just the Jays, but many other teams. But what they're doing right now, it's great. Again, the bullpen, it's been taxed, but to see in the last couple of days, the guys that have come on and really bailed the starters out, for instance, like Simeon Woods Richardson the other day when Tayon couldn't go after 4. And then Dylan Cease didn't have a very good start to his standards. And to see Chase come in, he was very good to mop things up there. And one guy that is extremely underrated in that bullpen is Mason Fluharty. Most appearances in the league right now. Gets big outs. He gets put in high leverage situations, not in the 8th and 9th, but he gets some outs that that give the Jays bullpen when they get down to Varland and before Hoffman was traded and things like that. He gives them the ability to get there. So
Yeah.
he's an underrated, unheralded, and probably like one of those guys that everyone on the team goes, we'd be nowhere without this guy. But it's exciting to see them win 3 in a row over Boston. We'll see it. Like Max Scherzer is such a gamer. In the finale today, he won't want to let the last 3 games and the 3 starters that pitched well, he won't want to let them down. I hope he has enough gas in the tank for whatever 3, 4, 5 more starts down the stretch here. But they're back in it. Game and a half out. Texas lost last night to the LA Angels in the late game. So the Blue Jays they have the opportunity. And then you got guys like Bateman and now McAdoo have come up. And that, they've come up with some big hits, especially Bateman. And Straw's been really good. So, I mean, the pieces to the puzzle post-trade deadline are coming together. So if they can just hold that pitching staff together, I don't know if Trey Savage will be back this year. If they can just hold the staff and the starters together for a few more weeks, because after they get through Boston and New York and Tampa here in the next couple of weeks, they've got a relatively easy schedule come September.
The fact that they're handling the Bo Sox the way they are is quite impressive. So you're buying the hype, KK, essentially.
I wouldn't say I'm like the hype for me. It's a strong word to me.
Yeah.
They're ham and egg in it right now, and if they can, they come up with some big hits. What's been the problem all year? They haven't been able to get the big hits. Last night, it's 1-1, and they get a big hit, and then Straw comes through with some insurance. So Guerrero gets on to start the inning, and he's been so quiet this year, and he does. I don't know if he ran through a stop sign on that second run, but it was pretty darn close. But it was a great slide, and he read the play well. So if they can just keep building on this momentum, Boston did it for a spell, and now Boston's lost 5 in a row. So I think the Jays, they're in the conversation. Let's just see what happens. If they can be about 2 out here after they get through this murderer's row with Boston, Tampa, and the Yankees, we'll see what happens.
Getting interesting. That's for damn sure. Okay, KK, final question. It's Critters related. My brother Paulie keeps asking if he can play, and I'm like, I don't know. I've never suited up for the Critters. So I've asked Brando. I think I'd have to run it by Marty, but what would you say to my youngest brother Paul suiting up for the Critters?
Well, I think he'd have to try out first.
He won't make it. Soft like baby poo.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, that's up to Marty. And Marty does the lineup. You know that. Duke will tell you that. So I'm looking forward to coming back and playing for the Critters for another year. And it'll be good to have you out there. And if Duke is finally injury-free at some point of his career, maybe he'll be a contributor finally to the team. But it's hard to say.
Yeah, he's shaking his head over
Duke, are you ready for tomorrow or not?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's not going to be pretty, but I'll be out there.
Okay. You better be ready because it's a big day.
I love it. I love it. KK, this has been awesome as always. We do it one more time tomorrow. Thank you, sir. And I know you'll be on Gregor's show later in the day. Enjoy, my friend.
Sounds good. Thanks, boys.
There you go. There's Kevin Carius, the legend, for On the Mark, filling in for Spec, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. Okay, we'll get to some more Blue Jays talk with Adam Peddle from Blue Jays Nation. He's our headliner of the day coming up next. And then those texts with the stories and stuff from, the glory days and the junior B and the junior A days, and those guys that played in the major junior ranks that have texted in some officiating skirmishes, stuff like that. I love those stories. Keep them coming in. We'll read as many as we can throughout the show. We roll on here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, "Thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the pro press fitting to my copper pipe."
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Brandon Douglas is singing this song right now in studio.
If you take the sexual innuendos out of it, I think that song's sort of relatable to a lot of Blue Jays fans.
Wow.
You've been hurt before. You're a little, precarious. You don't want to get back into it, but they're hot.
You have the voice of an angel, I have to say.
Well, if I ever actually sang for you, that wouldn't be true.
I'm messing. All right, we're going to talk some Jays with Adam Peddle. Text us your thoughts, 1-833-401-1440. Adam is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, stepping up to the plate so you won't have to for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrrooter.ca. Good morning, Adam. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping on today. Very much appreciate it. These Blue Jays, are they making people believe again? Another impressive win over the Red Sox. They've strung together a few here. Like, how are you looking the scenario the Jays have now put themselves into a game and a half back going into today?
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly believing. Every morning I check MLB Fangraphs. I don't know if you guys are stat nerds like me. I'm checking MLB Fangraphs, and I'm seeing the odds go up and up and up. There was about, I think a week and a half ago, we were projected to make the playoffs 4% of the time. It's up to 15% now.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It's hey, there's a chance, right? Like
So
50%.
you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, yes. My favorite actor, Jim Carrey, always says that,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a chance, and there's some other outlining factors that might believe that 50% might even be a little bit lower. Number one, the Blue Jays down the stretch actually have one of the easier strengths of schedules among those teams competing for the final wildcard spot. The only two teams that have a better strength of schedule are the Mariners and the Guardians, who are not on hot stretches right now. So if you want to pair that up with the great play they're doing right now against good teams in the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox, then there's definitely a good reason to believe, boys.
Yeah. What has spurred this on? I know at the deadline we were wondering, are they sellers? What are they going to do? And I guess, we had other guests on here describing it as they're kind of like a hybrid between buyer and seller. So more of like a tweaking scenario with what they did at the deadline. Is it because of the moves they made, or is it because the bats have just woken up a little bit? What do you think has put them into a situation where they're 7-3 in the last 10, rattled off 3 straight in the division against one of the hottest teams in the league? How do you look at this last week and a half stretch here?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of column A, column B of what you said right there, where, the bats were so bad all season long. They were 30th in all of baseball, and a team going from where they were last year. I know they lost some pieces, but a team from where they were last year to now, it's kind of hard to imagine that, the second half doesn't come in and they round out those numbers to make them look a little better. I'm looking at guys like Alejandro Kirk. He is back. He looks like vintage Alejandro Kirk, Silver Slugger Kirk in the middle of that lineup. And then you're getting contributions from other guys like Jimenez and Lucas, and even Bateman, who came over in the Gausman trade, has already showed some signs in a pretty pivotal part of the lineup up in the 2-hole lately. And then, of course, McAdoo just on fire. They're riding with the hot hands. But I would say you're getting an average effort from the offense if you're comparing them to other teams in MLB. But the main thing is that pitching staff is one of the best in the last 2 weeks of baseball. I believe they're 5th in ERA among Major League Baseball teams, 2nd in the American League in the last 2 weeks of baseball. And that's because you got good starts from Max Scherzer, 2 good ones out of him lately.
Right.
Same with Shane Bieber. And then even though Tyone hit the IL, he didn't sink your team necessarily, still won both the games he started. So, yeah, obviously, it goes without saying Dylan Cease and Soriano have been great parts of this rotation lately. And right. So it's everything. Right. So that's what has made this team get hot lately. It's a little bit different from last year where it was offense carrying the load. Now it's been the pitching staff.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought up Cease and Soriano. I know Cease didn't have it. I think it was his shortest outing in 2 months the other day. They still prevailed. Obviously, the bullpen comes in, helps them out. And then Soriano, since he's been added to the lineup, I know a lot of people are excited about that addition. What have you made of his time as a J? Second start. What do you have? 4 Ks yesterday, 1 earned run on 4 hits. How do you look at his fit with this club?
I think it's a great fit. Not only just the stuff plays really well. When you look at that curveball and they really have a good game plan with him. They've upped his usage with the curveball, and they've down his usage with some of his fastballs. And they're really just leaning into what makes him a better pitcher. So I think the fit and in the game plan that they have with him makes a lot of sense. But also, too, just the timeline, just going beyond 2027. Yeah, I know, or 2026, excuse me. 2027, there's a potential lockout, but let's not think about that. You got him for that year, 2028 as well. So you're replacing a Kevin Gausman who is going to be expiring at the end of this year. I think it makes perfect sense for a fit to replace Gausman, who would have been the number 2 to a Dylan Cease at this point in their careers. It's perfect sense. And I think he will be, if the Blue Jays do go on a run, it's because Soriano returns back to pitcher of the month form Soriano that he lost a little bit when he was with the Angels, and now the Blue Jays hoping to get that back.
Yeah, well, nothing ever good happens with the Angels until those guys get out
Nope.
of Dodge, right? Like, oh my goodness. Well, I guess another sign of what was going on with the Angels, they gassed their entire pitching coaches the other day. So yeah, it's
That
very
tells you everything you need to know, right?
exactly. Very indicative of where the Angels are at and have been for a long time. We've got Adam Peddle with us from Blue Jays Nation. He is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter. Okay, so we got the Jays and Red Sox again today. They're closing things out. How much faith do you have in Max Scherzer and his battling abilities at a latter advanced stage in his career? And I know it's been a tough year for him, injuries and rehab assignments, and I think his record, 1-4 going into today. But how do you look at his scenario tonight?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think everyone can agree with me when, if you were to ask anybody, how do you feel about Max Scherzer going in? You'd go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it all depends really on how he's feeling. I've got the privilege to speak with Max on 2 separate occasions on the show. And, and it became very clear. He's a very honest and open guy that when he feels good, he will pitch good. And it usually those two things correlate. He wasn't feeling good earlier in the year, even when he came back from his rehab recently. In his first couple starts, he wasn't looking very good. Now he's feeling good. And as long as he's woke up on the right side of the bed today and he's feeling good, as his words he told me, if he's feeling good, he'll pitch good. So it's tough to know and predict, but it's basically a flip of a coin if you want to guess if you're going to get a good version of Max Scherzer or a bad version of Max Scherzer. Now, the problem is if you do get the bad version of Max Scherzer, I'm sure you guys are aware the bullpen is just mangled right now. They are tired back there in the bullpen. So it's going to be a bit of puzzle pieces putting together for John Schneider to find a way to bridge over to the end if we do get a short version of Max Scherzer. So hopefully we don't have to do that. Hopefully he gives us 5 or 6 at this one. That'd be a blessing.
Yes, and that's an afternoon game. My bad. I said tonight. I want to correct myself and be more
good.
Yeah, straightforward on that. All right, Adam, when you look ahead to the schedule after today, we'll see what happens with the Red Sox and the Jays. Obviously, so far, so good. You get the Yankees and then the Rays, and then like you were talking about, you get the Yankees again, actually. Then it's Kansas City, Seattle, Cleveland, Kansas City again, then the A's, then Baltimore. Like, you're right. It looks promising, but how good of a situation do the Jays have to put themselves in, or what's a acceptable run here against the Yankees, Rays, and then Yankees again to really, solidify the faith that they could make a run to the postseason here?
Yeah, when you look at the remaining schedule, of course, right, you got this gauntlet coming up with the Yankees and the Rays, and the Yankees again. 2 of those series are away, which are next week. You have to give yourself a little bit of grace, but to really solidify yourself in a postseason race, if doing the math, if you win 2 out of the next 3 games, based on this, 2 of every 3 games, excuse me, for the remainder of the season, you will have a record above 500. That's obvious. And based on this American League, you will most likely clinch that wildcard spot unless the team performs better than the Blue Jays. But for this little bit of stretch, you have to give yourself a little bit of grace for the Blue Jays. If they can find a way again, winning today would help them a lot to just add that extra win. But if you can find a way to win the series against the Yankees, take 2 there, give yourself grace against the Rays in Tropicana Field, because we know there are some demons in Tropicana Field the Blue Jays can't seem to rectify. If you can grab 1 there, and then you have to do this. You got to find a way to beat the Yankees on the road. And they're a good team, but you're playing good competition as of late. And it feels like the boys, they're at a point in their season where they know there are just a few losses or a bad stretch away from losing this season altogether. And it feels like they don't want to be that guy that loses the season. Like, if they got an opportunity, they want to be the guy that comes up clutch. And you have to take that mentality against these big dog teams in the American League. If you could beat them, if you bring that momentum into the easy part of the schedule and treat those easier teams like big dog teams, then I think you've got yourself in a great place. So got to keep winning series. You can maybe afford a couple series losses, but the rest got to be W's for you.
Adam, they've got Cleveland ahead of them, Detroit, Minnesota, all chasing Texas right now. of those three, Minnie, Detroit, and Cleveland, which one do you think is the biggest threat to the Jays, or which two maybe, and which team do you think that you could see the Jays easily breezing by?
So I gotta give it to the Tigers being the hardest team. They're on a bit of a roll right now. I know they lost yesterday, but they've been on a roll. And even without Tarek Skubal, even when they traded him, they are still doing well. Now the easier team to kind of make your way through. I mean, Guardians are a weird one because they definitely play with the analytics and they definitely lean into the WAR. But then they show sometimes their true colors, and they'll go on the stretches like they have lately, go 3-7. I'm not too worried about the Guardians or the Twins. Honestly, it's the Tigers because you look at that lineup and you look at how deep it is. And it's definitely a lot deeper than the Blue Jays. And they have the next man up mentality when it comes to their pitching staff. Yeah, you got rid of Mize and Skubal, but they have guys replacing them that are doing just as good as those guys would have done in the last little bit. So I would predict that. I do believe the Blue Jays are going to get hot. They got to survive this stretch, get hot, and then I feel like it's going to be a race between the Jays and the Tigers, and they're going to be back fighting for that wild card spot.
Like lately, or even this season, could we call the Jays' identity scrappy, or is that too far-fetched?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, lately they've looked definitely scrappy. That's what they kind of looked like last year, right? Where they just kept coming back and being those scrappy team. That's a great question. I've asked myself this probably about 4 or 5 times last week, because I've been trying to think of how I want to describe this team. Because it doesn't feel like they have a quote-unquote identity. because you don't really know. Like we're rolling out McAdoo and Bateman at the top of the lineup, and no one really knows what that identity looks like right now. I think it's you know what, if you were to give them an identity, if you're giving them a title, I would say they're energized.
Okay.
They feel energized right now because you do have some young guys coming up. You've got Soriano here going from the Angels, coming to a Jays team that is going to provide him all the support that he possibly needs. Right? So you got some guys that are trying to save the season as well, that have been here all year, that are trying to come up in the big moments, take the 2-strike approaches seriously and put a ball in play. And they're looking at the young guys at the top of the lineup that are energized, setting the table and leading in the last, at least in this series, leading by example. So that's what I would say. Energized, scrappy too. I'll give you that one.
I like energized. This segment has been energized, and you're bringing the energy. So it's been great. Adam, that's why you're headliner of the day. Appreciate the time, my friend. Enjoy the game this afternoon, and we'll catch up down the road, okay?
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
There's Adam Peddle from Blue Jays Nation. He is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, batting 1,000 against clogs. That's mrrooter.ca. Kent texting in says Soriano is Juan Guzman 2.0. I remember Juan Guzman. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then Brian says, are Blue Jays more exciting 2 up or 2 down mid-August? That's a good question. They find a way. That's why I asked Adam if they were kind of scrappy. But energized works, and 7-3 in the last 10, pretty damn good. Rattled off 3 straight. Doing it against the Bo Sox. Doesn't get any easier. You got Scherzer going he's on the mound today, 107 first pitch. And then you're seeing the Yankees, then in Tampa, then in New York, and then the schedule gets a bit easier for the Blue Jays. So we'll see what they can do. A game and a half back after that win yesterday, and bringing back the belief. So you're saying there's a chance. Absolutely. All right, we're going to get to more stories from texters coming in. Some good ones via the text line, 1-833-401-1440. More Gazzola Show on the way after this.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Don't let rookies scratch your custom wheels. Evolve Wheels and Tires uses premium touchless equipment designed to protect your wheel and tire investment. Trust the enthusiasts at Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
They're going all out to earn your business at Wolf GMC Buick. Right now, they're seriously overstocked on over 400 pieces of inventory on clearance and ready to move. See for yourself. Click on the clearance tab at wolfgmcbuick.com. And it gets even better. Employee pricing continues with huge cash discounts, 0% purchase financing, and low lease rates on select vehicles. Once again, see their website for details or stop in today. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to RobertsonBodyWorks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
They say if you look good, you play good. So why not upgrade your golf wardrobe at the Leduc Golf Club Pro Shop sale? They're slashing prices on all your favorite in-stock gear. Grab a new pair of shoes, a new glove, or pick up a fresh polo and accessories for up to 20% off. Don't wait. This sale ends soon. And when the inventory is gone, it's gone. Gear up for less at the Leduc Golf Club Pro Shop.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Live on a Thursday. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick in studio, and we've got some great stories and texts and stuff that have come in. It all started when we had Eric on earlier, who is now on his way to the ECHL as a ref. Eric Scherger, product of the Devon Minor Hockey Association, and we were talking about like stories about refs and how you handle them, and crazy coaches that screamed and shouted and broke their toes on cemented in garbage cans in Grand Prairie. That happened. And so we've had some really funny texts that have come in. So I'm going to keep that going. Belzy's ready to go. He'll start at 9 a.m., but he's in studio, and I'm sure he's got some stories too. Gus in the Hood texting in says, while playing in a Saskatchewan senior league, The ref was injured in the first period. I was asked to take over. Let's just say I let the game get a little bloody. Gus, you're supposed to be responsible for both teams. But I understand. That's a situation that's tough to handle appropriately. Why did they pick you, Gus, to be the ref? And why not somebody else? Or did they just need a volunteer and you stepped in and you totally favored your team? I'm curious. I have questions. Kyle texted in, says, when I was reffing Adam hockey, one of the coaches asked me to stop the game. I went to the bench to see what happened. He told me a kid called one of his kids a very bad word. I didn't even know that word existed when I was that old, so I was shocked. I just talked to the other coach and said, I'd keep an eye on that kid. The coach said, I did. Yeah, there's some stuff. I mean, Belzy's had some run-ins with refs. You don't give me the no, you didn't. Yeah, but you know what's funny too is like when it becomes a he said, she said type of thing, you never know. Let's go to, well, there's some of them. Some of them have like really bad expletives in them. Okay. Let's go to Mike from Kindersley. Says, I was reffing a junior B game in Saskatoon in the early 2000s. My linesman came into the room as I was tying my skates, and he's like, there's a line brawl. Wait, let me rephrase that. Everybody is fighting on the ice. What do we do? I just said, let them fight and we'll sort it out in the game. At the time, there was nothing we could do in junior B. If there was a fight before the puck dropped, the league would just suspend them. Afterwards, they still got to play the game. Yeah, I always wonder about that because, like, well, you hear about, was it the Prince Albert Raiders in the 80s? Dave Manson was on that team and a couple other, like, just absolute monsters. And they would go take the other team's net away before warm-up. Oh, Boris Fistrick did that. Thank you. My old teammate, Mark, his dad, Boris, great guy. And nobody would mess with them. Stuff like that was crazy. Tim says, I'm loving these stories. God, I loved watching the Kimberley Dynamiters living in the Kootenays. Brett texting in. One time in men's league, my buddy said, "Atta girl," got kicked out by the ref, and the ref's reasoning was that it was sexist. He then asked the ref if he said "atta boy" instead, it would have been fine, and the ref said yes. LOL. There are some really good refs in men's league. There are some that are not as good. I like the ones that will give you some grace and kind of enjoy the humor of the game. And then there's others that you can tell are at wit's end or don't even want to start with you and just are like, yep, you're out of here. I don't want to deal with this. JC texting and says, I was Eric's assigner for the U18 AA for 2 seasons. Good guy, always willing to help. I wish him nothing but success. JC. Yeah, and to the people that know Eric Scherger, that's on his way to the ECHL and the officiating combine in Buffalo. Really nice to see the support and the people that know him and that have texted in. Really good guy, great story, and an example perhaps for others that, you know, if you don't make it as a pro in your respective sport, as a player, there's other opportunities. And refs make good money in the higher levels. Like if you're an NHL ref, I think like the starting salary is like 150 grand American. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So there's opportunity there. Let's just say that. And if you played any decent hockey and if you have a good eye for the game, can handle both teams and their coaches, manage it well, you're going to be fast-tracked, is what I've been told. Kent texting in says that Prince Albert team is the reason in the 80s the WHL teams had to start warming up separately. Not surprised. Not surprised. All right. Brandon texting in. We had one ref with one eye for years. Every team had a good relationship with him, but the jokes wrote themselves. And he was cool with it. I like that. Brando, what's your line for guys that get a little feisty in men's league?
Well, I do basically just like ask them, like, and you go up super casual and friendly about it. And because then that just makes them more mad, right? The calmer you are, the more mad it makes someone else that's already fired up.
Yeah, that
and you
can
just like in some roundabout way, just ask them like you had no idea that the scouts were coming to the game.
Yeah.
And then they're a little, confused. And you almost do you put your hand and you're like you're looking like off in the distance, like, where are they? Are they hiding? Right. People don't like that. People do not like that. And that when I was a younger player, I was pretty fiery. Just yelling and F-bombing everybody. And there was no rhyme or reason to it. Well, there was reason usually, but it was nonsensical as a ill-tempered teenager in minor hockey. As I progressed into senior hockey and then eventually beer league, well, some beer league in between the two as well, I kind of take the opposite approach where it is just like the stoic, you're calm all the time and just let everyone else be mad around you, and that makes them more mad.
Yeah.
He just says like, why do you have to be so mad?
Why do you have to be so mad?
It's only game. And when in the form of beer league, that could never be more true. It is only game.
Yeah. It's so true. I do remember like my old team, they had I think they still have a AMHL team, but they would always be Div 2, but slightly too good for Div 2 and always get bumped up to Div 1. And then I remember like I'd just be a sub for them. And then I remember when we got to Div 1 and you're playing against good hockey players. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Some of these guys are former pros, major junior, U Sport, junior A. Like, they're good hockey players. They back check. They block shots. They try to win the scoring race of AMHL Div 1. And I remember we were in this one game, and it was at Claire Drake Arena, and we were getting fired up. And we're like, screw we hate these guys. They're a bunch of jackasses. And I got really fired up. And I started yelling and screaming like I used to back in the day. And I had to catch myself. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like,
what am I doing?
I'm like, we're at Claire Drake Arena on a Sunday at 11:30 in the morning. Nobody is here to watch us. Yes, these guys are good hockey players. Yes, we're a bunch of plugs that can still put it together, but we're really here to just drink beer and hang out and see each other because everybody's got wives or girlfriends and kids, and this is our only time together to tell old stories and jokes and stuff like that. But these guys, when that one team, and they always have a few guys that get under your skin. And I remember just like screaming at these guys. And I got to the bench and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like 31, 32 years old, acting like
so this is a long time ago.
This is like 10 years ago, yeah. But you get the juices flowing again. And I had to catch myself. I'm like, this is stupid. What am I doing? These guys are probably nice guys over there. But on the ice, they're a bunch of a-holes.
Those guys got families too.
They've got families too. And I remember some of them were like doctors now, and they were wearing cages and stuff, and we were just giving it to those guys wearing the cages, saying very, very rude and disgusting things to them, mocking their manliness.
Of course.
As one does.
It's the go-to insult.
And you think about it, you're like, wow, that was a real jackass.
And I will
today.
say, I give a lot of credit to some beer league, and I actually shouldn't say some. The majority of beer league players that I've come across in my last number of years since kind of rejoining that fold, where things that were acceptable to say, and I'm not talking about like crossing a line, but just specific vernacular and vocabulary that you would use to insult someone in a previous generation.
Yeah,
that is no longer.
Oh,
that's it's no longer acceptable to use those words.
Very bad words
in that context.
That's right.
You don't hear that stuff very much anymore. At least I don't. You do get the occasional one, and you say like, "Come on, man! Like you can do better than that." That's usually what I'll say when they use one of those inappropriate words.
Yeah, that's fair.
But most players have eliminated that, and they just go back to more cut and dry one. You bleeping idiot, you bleeping loser, instead of maybe some more choice words that are no longer kosher to be uttering at another human.
Indeed.
At least in a derogatory sense.
That's right. No, that's well said. Yeah, I remember I was screaming at their bench too. Like a bunch of us were. It's just stupid. Unnecessary. I feel shame.
This text from Kyle. Those guys are probably wondering why there was a 15-year-old screaming at them.
Yeah, that's right.
Who brought their kid to beer league?
Oh God! Wait until I punch one of them in the mouth. Then they punch me back.
No,
like, oh, yeah, that hurts.
they won't hit you back at fear of charges of assaulting a minor.
Well played, Kyle. Well played. It's the blonde facial hair or whatever is there. I'm going to give the last text to Phil. He's got a good one. Belzy's coming up next, and then we're going to have Mike Malott from the UFC joining us in hour number 4. Phil texting, it says, the best reffing moment we had in men's league was when we were arguing a missed too many men call. The young ref came over, leaned on the bench, and said, explain the rule to me. My response, well played. Nicely done. Phil adds an LOL in there. All right, we got to step out for a quick breather. We do also have to get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All-Star Construction, the shape and build Edmonton community specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Last night from downtown Toronto, the Jays stormed back to defeat the Red Sox 6-4 for a third straight victory over the division rivals. Jose Soriano going 6 innings strong, giving up just 1 earned run in the contest, and the Jays scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th en route to the 6-4 victory. Around the rest of the majors, the Orioles fell to the Twins 7-5. Rays doubled up on the Athletics 8-4. The Yankees beat up on the Mariners 10-5. Cubbies beat the Nats 12-6. Alec Bregman 3 home runs in the game. First time in his career for that feat in the Chicago victory. And in the nightcap, the Dodgers get another homer from Shohei Ohtani. They beat the Royals 4-2. Some news coming out this morning. Live Golf, amidst their unknown and uncertain future, are expecting the departure of former world number 1 John Rahm. And from the CFL ahead of week number 11, Zach Claros announced as the Blue Bomber starter, returning to the lineup after an absence. Brady Olivier going to be a game-time decision for Winnipeg. Coming up in hour 3 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Zach Lang from DFO Edmonton, as well as our Thursday co-host, former NHL defenseman Sean Bell. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Mr. Rooter cries like a little tiny baby child.
Hey, Mr. Rooter, you've got a package from Mrs. Rooter.
Aw, the card says, thank you for our unbreakable bond. You're the Pro Press fitting to my copper pipe.
Ooh, what's in the package, Mr. Rooter?
Let's see. It's a Plumbus 2000 spud wrench. She knew I'd never buy one for myself.
Just like tears. It's flowing or it's free with Mr. Rooter.
I love that woman.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
What if one moment changed everything? The turn of the key to your dream home. The roar of the crowd from your Oilers season seats. The trip you've always talked about. With the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation Mighty Millions Lottery, winning is just the beginning. For you and for them. You could win the $2.4 million grand prize show home plus $100,000 cash and more incredible prizes. And every ticket makes a life-changing difference for Stollery kids and their families. Change lives. Support Stollery kids. Be mighty. Get your tickets now at MightyMillionsLottery.com.
Caesars.com.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Hour number 3. Happy Thursday. It's the Tom Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Tom in studio alongside Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Benwick. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Lots of great texts today. Honestly, thank you to everybody that's chimed in. Thank you for allowing me to vent about stupid AMHL Div 1 and me getting way too fired up in a game on a Sunday at Claire Drake Arena. Of course, Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Belzy's in, ready to go, co-hosting the final 2 hours of the show. And yeah, we had some good stories today, Belzy, like of chirping refs, of brawls, of crazy things happening in different leagues all across Western Canada. We had Eric Scherger on, who's on his way to the ECHL.
Oh, yeah,
and I know he was reffing in the JPHL, so I'm sure you came across him a couple of times.
Yes, I did.
He was great this morning. Honestly,
he's a good dude.
That's what everybody. There's been a lot of texts coming in saying Eric's great. We wish him the best of luck. He's. We had one that texted in said he's a legend in the Devon area, which is fantastic. So a lot of positive vibes there, but it's opened the floodgates of like story time and chirps and this and that. And I know you've had a few in your day, but why? But you giggling. You've got.
I'm laughing because like me and him, we always got into our battles. Every game that he reffed.
Every game.
Every game.
See, you're like poo-pooing it when I was like, I'm sure you got into it. You're like, no,
he's a good dude. I actually like him a lot.
Good.
But we got into our chirping battles every game. For zero reason.
Was it like a mutual respect thing?
Oh, yeah. We both respected each other.
Okay.
But it was just...
That's fine.
There was lots of just back and forth banter.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So the only thing I can do as a coach is just make sure that I'm trying to... I don't want to say one-up the ref because that's not what it is. I just want to make sure he knows that we're still here.
I've watched you coach.
Yeah.
Now you hit the whiteboard quite a bit on the bench. You're teaching.
I do teach a lot.
Yes, I've noticed that.
I try to.
Now you're also quite pensive when you're not teaching. You're not a yeller or screamer.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have my hand up against the wall.
I see that.
And I lean.
Uh-huh.
And then when I have to, then I'll like do what I need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really yell or scream. It's usually when something like safety related happens where that's when I start going out.
You've shown me some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that's happened that.
Yeah. In our league. Yeah. There's been some ridiculous stuff.
I know.
And I'm not going to talk about it because our commissioner's probably listening and then he's going to reprimand me right after this. Oh,
yeah. Hi, Rich. Good morning. Good guy.
But no, great guy. Yeah, I think every league has their good and bad. And so it'd be like me sitting here and going after the league that I'm in. I mean, it happens everywhere. So I'm not.
It's universal.
It's universal.
In all sports, really.
All refs suck.
I generally think that too, but I have to take a step back and recognize the human element of it. And I'm actually rooting for Eric, and I hope we're talking about him
too.
in the NHL.
Once again, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
Actually, Coltrane Wilson, who played for the Lethbridge Hurricanes, played for Sherwood Park Crusaders here. He's actually moved on as well. He's a ref, doing a fantastic job. So there's a lot of really good guys that have become refs, and they do a great job. But they're refs now. So it changes.
Yeah, it does change things.
And I tell them that every single time. I'm like, you've changed. It's like, what do you mean? I'm still the same guy. You came literally to my bachelor party. I'm like, yeah, but now you're a ref. It's changed.
That's cruel.
You're making it about you.
Okay, on a much more serious note, when it comes to refs, though, we are seeing guys who played pretty high level of hockey, some former pros too, that are like, you know what? I'm done playing pro. Maybe their heart's not into it. Maybe they just realize it's probably over and they don't want to pursue it anymore. And the window and the door and the fast track on the officiating side is there because in hockey, I think the last time I heard, it's like a year or two ago, we're not seeing as many refs, just like we're not seeing as many players continue on in hockey.
Well, yeah, but I think they bridge the gap perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a guy that's he's played at high levels, and now all of a sudden he's reffing. So he could probably give you a different vantage point of, okay, like that play is non-consequential, right? Like it's a slash in the neutral zone for nothing. So do I need to call that? Probably not,
Right.
because when you're playing, that thing didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So like they give you kind of a unique perspective on, playing plus officiating. And so it's a little bit different. So I think the game, when that happens and they have guys like that, you see the flow of the game better. That's just my opinion from what I've seen.
That's natural, I think, because I like how you bring that up. Like, you don't need to call everything.
No. And that's usually when games go sideways, because it's like, why are you calling that one?
Yeah.
Like that had nothing to do with it. Or like the call gets made and it's a chintzy one on you, but then the exact same thing happens on the other side and it doesn't get called. And then coach is sitting there going, okay, wait a second. Like what's happening?
Now
right?
you're pulling the thread.
Now you're pulling the thread.
Yeah.
And usually, people get pretty wound up, and that's when the thread starts to unravel.
One thing I love about hockey, most sports, obviously, like the game flow and the progression and the themes that emerge each hockey game specifically, because we're focusing on that. And you can just pinpoint the moments where things went sideways or things were controlled and allowed the game to get better and better and better in the level of play and competition and excitement. But then you have those moments, and it can be determined by an official. A lot of times it is. Sometimes it's a coach or a player being an idiot, where you're on a good track. It's a pretty damn good game. And then boom, it goes into the gutter.
Sometimes animosity in sports is good.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Right? It makes the game more intense, makes it more lively. Sometimes it's good. So you don't necessarily need to always suck the life out of it, because you want it to be, on the more safe side of the game. And I get that part, like, because we see, and there's been a lot of research with CTE and like some of the injuries that are happening. I mean, I do own a strength and conditioning company.
True.
And you see tons of shoulder injuries and stuff like that. So, from that perspective, I get why they're trying to make the game more safe, especially at the younger levels. But at the same time, as a coach, and especially guys that are moving up the ranks, we all go like, man, we wish it's a little bit more like animosity, like a little bit more drive, a little bit more passion. And I mean, I think even as fans, we could say the game may be faster and better than it's ever been. But when you look back at some of the games in, like, let's say the early 2000s or the 99s, some of those rivalries were legendary because there was so much animosity, and you'll never forget about that stuff.
Those games,
right? A la Detroit, Colorado.
Well, that went way over.
Went way over the line.
Yeah.
But that's like one of the biggest rivalries we've known for quite some time.
True.
Why do you think we're looking at Tampa and Florida all of a sudden being like, wow,
because that goes
what a
over
rivalry?
well, but it's also good hockey.
Great hockey.
Now, okay, maybe this is us being a couple of old farts, but it feels
Speak
like
for yourself.
You're older than I am. Barely, but though in that era, it's obviously there was a different way of officiating games and a different general mentality, and the game wasn't as skilled. It was pretty damn skilled, but it's not to the level it is now, because I think this is the fastest and
it's the best era of hockey.
Absolutely. Like the skill level is through the roof. Maybe I know we talked to player development guys, former players. I think of Johnny Boychuk, who came on Hello Hockey a few times. And he goes, the skill is amazing through the roof, but it's thinking the game that it has started to suffer because of the skill and the individuality. That's an aside. But those games back in those days could blow up and go off the rails. But then once that was taken care of, it went back to being about.
Yeah, well, when Brian Burke, who was also on our show, goes, yeah, that's a shaving cut, but that thing takes like 3 zippers or 4 zippers to fix, which is not a shaving cut. I think you have an idea of where the game was.
Well, he comes from a very, very bygone era.
Yeah, he does.
Where there was a lot of bad man on those
real
teams.
bad man.
Real bad man. IMAC texted again asking what level you're coaching now. Because you've coached or collegiate.
Yeah, so I've coached junior, collegiate.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing U18.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been all over the spectrum outside of pro.
Yeah. You've been sending guys to junior the last few years. You had Marcus Larocque, who's now in Seattle.
Yep.
You've got a lot of guys that are now in the BCHL and AJHL and
kind of sprinkled all over Canada.
Well, there's a few guys that are like dipping into pros now that you've coached, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a few guys.
Yeah. All right. Keep those texts coming in. 1-833-401-1440. IMAC also followed up with safety is what triggers me most. Last year, Tier 1, U11. When I shake hands, I say to both, make sure they have fun and keep them safe. So IMAC, I'm assuming, is an official. Some don't like that, but when the game gets sideways, I can ask them what I said before it started. That's fair.
Yep.
Like I respect that.
Yeah, I like if a coach is asking, depending on obviously how he's doing it, but like he's flying off the handle, sure, you don't need to talk to him, you don't have to go over there, but I think that respect factor, the communication between the coach and the ref, I think is a massive piece of the puzzle too. Because you get sometimes where it's like, what did you see there? And he just skates off and you're like, really? Why are you doing that? Like, I'm just trying to have a conversation so that I can understand your perspective as well. But if you don't want to give me that respect, okay, well, this game's going to go very differently.
Because now all of a sudden you're mad and your tactic changes and you might do something to get under that ref's skin.
As simple as, hey man, sorry, I messed that up, or hey, I didn't see it, or my perspective was a little bit different than yours. Okay. And as a coach, you go, okay, well, we are all human. It is what it is. Yeah. But when you just give the get out of here.
The poo-poo.
Well,
yeah.
Thanks.
Well, Eric did talk about being a good communicator. Stop laughing.
Sure, Eric.
Penhold Ryan texting in says Kyle Raymond played Junior B in Red Deer. I again talked about they have a good Junior B program. The Vipers down there, they're always in Westerns and really good teams. Penhold Ryan follows up with he's made a great career in the NHL.
So he's a stud, that guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome
guy.
How was your relationship in your playing days pro with officials? NHL,
I didn't really talk
Europe.
to guys,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Like every now and then I'd have like maybe 1 or 2 guys that I would talk to and create a relationship with. It's kind of the same as like coaching. I have a couple guys I've got good relationships with, but I don't really try to talk to them. Like, I don't know. I think it's create good rapport or just don't say anything at all.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're a player, it's different.
I
like I was saying earlier, like whatever levels I was playing, I didn't really talk to the refs, but when I did, it would take them from 0 to 100 really quickly.
Oh yeah, because you're just chirpy, hey?
I'm just a jackass. I could get that way, and sometimes it was good, sometimes it was to my detriment. But just depending on my temperament in that moment.
Yeah, I feel like most of us are like that.
True. Some take it to an extreme level.
Yeah.
Others don't.
Yeah, we have one coach in our league that loses it on everything.
I'm not putting you in any jams with the league.
No, there's one coach in our league, and I'll openly say this. He loses his mind off of everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'd be like an offside call that, wasn't an offside, or it was, so close that you couldn't tell. And he's coming off the bench down and he's screaming at the refs. And it's to the point where like, there's other guys in our league that want to say stuff and like, guys are like, shut up.
Oh,
like,
really?
Stop talking. Like, and it's relentless. And so then because I'm me, I go, hey, come over here. You don't have to take that. Hey, ref, you don't have to take that. I would never do that to you.
You're such a bitch ass.
You get the laugh. I would never treat you that way.
I'm here for you, boo.
Anytime you need it, buddy, come over here. I'll help you.
Oh, boy. You're a
Oh,
dork.
but
That's
it's
so
great.
funny.
It works sometimes. so,
I could see
yeah.
how that would work,
Yeah.
but like
You don't have to take that.
but
Just give him a 10.
I mean, if that other coach it has that notoriety and it's a show every time he doesn't like something, then that I can appreciate that. Well done, Belsy.
Yeah.
Nerd alert. Ontario Mo's texting in says, boys, these past playoffs had no animosity, even in round one. I hope this trend doesn't continue. Yeah, thinking back to it, you'd have little dust ups, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing too bad.
It was a very quiet playoffs, I think.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Skill was on high visibility though.
Absolutely.
It was good
Yeah,
to see.
lots of flow.
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, each playoff has its own identity.
Well, I think part of the reason though that there was less animosity was because the Florida Panthers were out.
Well, yeah, well, that
They
helps.
just bring a whole lot of truculence.
Right.
It's wild.
They are a bunch of jackasses that people hate to play against.
It's going to be very interesting to see what they're like this upcoming
They
season
should
because
be
everybody's
great.
healthy, and then they went out and got Radko Gudas.
Yeah,
because that's going to help.
Well, it's
And they
gonna
added
stir
Brady.
things up.
That's going to help.
Yeah, yeah.
God,
I know.
insufferable.
I can't wait to see it. Awadi in Cloverdale says they've been fast tracking guys at the end of their playing careers because of their skating ability and ability to think the game. Obviously have to be competent, but former players are getting a leg up. Yes. And
Yeah.
I think the officiating over the body that oversees like NHL refs is not even hiding that. They're
Yeah,
just
of course
like,
they're not.
yeah, we'd like to have pro players. Yeah, so there's no, it's not like it's just accepted and discussed and out in the open. Kent texting says, I reffed in Lions hockey as a youth from 12 to 18. There's nothing worse for a minor hockey game than a ref with an ego like he's reffing an NHL game. As you said, won't talk to coaches because he's right no matter what, etc. Hashtag embarrassing. And then Steve from Drumheller says, hockey has become more of a business style. All the players grow up playing together to get a big contract, not really representing the team they play for.
Is that in reference to minor hockey?
Maybe junior too. There's a lot of individuality, more so than before, I think. Isn't there?
I think players want to stick together more than ever. Like they play together as a young group, right? Maybe summer hockey, parents all like each other. They're like, we got a really good team, and they somehow try to finagle their way through minor hockey with those same players. I think that happens way more now than it ever has.
Yeah.
Right
That
before it'd be like
sounds
you'd
like
be at MLAC for whatever reason you decide to be at MLAC, and
As
then
I
I'd
grew
be
up
at
on the north side.
KC smacking you guys around all the time.
That
and,
did happen.
You know, Dion Phaneuf would be at Southside doing the same thing to you guys.
That did
So like
happen.
everybody just went to their own spots,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, okay, we're all going to band together and we're going to stick together. It's good because you win, but at the same time,
Are you
like I don't
getting
know
better?
how you feel about it, but if you're just destroying teams every single night, are you actually getting that much better?
Well, that's what the focus should be. Is I mean, you want to personally get better so you can push yourself to the highest level you can play.
Yeah, coaching
Right.
would help that though too.
Yeah,
But
the emphasis was always on the team being good, or that
Mhm.
that was the goal. Hey, make sure we have a good team, good group of guys. Everybody needs to get better at hockey.
Yep.
And we grow together, kind of thing. Whereas maybe now it's not as much of
I
a
don't know. It'd be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, I'm not in it, so
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's why I ask. But anyway,
It's probably worth a little bit more time than just a couple minutes, but it is an
You know what?
interesting discussion.
we'll probably dig into it another time.
I'm
in the
sure we
offseason.
will.
Ryan from Sask gets the last word this segment. We are going to talk to Zach Lang from Daily Faceoff Edmonton, formerly Oilers Nation. We'll get the down low on the rebrand. But Ryan from Sask, last word to him. I played competitive baseball and hockey. I hated umpires way more than I hated refs. I found there were way more dickhead umps than there were hockey refs.
Interesting.
I don't
I don't know, so I
don't
can't
know,
even say.
but I mean, I enjoy watching umps get into it with players and coaches. It's mostly managers, but
Yeah.
am I going to get in trouble for saying that word? Okay, good.
What word?
Richard Head.
Dickhead. Tom says that, but earlier he wouldn't say the word tampon. He substituted in feminine hygiene product.
But you'll say Richard had
it is synonymous, but it was really ironic to a sense because we just finished talking about how maybe Tom and I had grown up a little bit, but he can't say the word tampon on radio because it makes him uncomfortable.
I refuse.
That's wild.
I don't. I just, whatever. It is what it is. All right. We're going to talk to Zach Lang coming up after the break. He's from DFO Edmonton. We'll talk about the rebrand. We'll talk about the Oilers. Good stuff from him coming up here on the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
Must be 18 or older. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. T's and C's apply.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Kickoff is coming August 15th. Elks, Argos at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Family Day presented by Goodwill Industries of Alberta. Youth 17 and under get in free for an early afternoon contest. Conditions apply. Tickets and info at goelks.com/tickets.
Now's the time to shop the Bricks 0% event. Get what you need today with absolutely $0 down. Pay nothing with no interest until 2028. Or choose 36 equal monthly payments on qualifying purchases. Plus, save up to 25% on living room furniture, up to 20% on dining and bedroom furniture, and up to 40% on select mattresses. Hurry into the Brick today. These incredible offers are only on until August 19th. The Brick, saving you more.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
"Wow, great hair transplant."
I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
We continue on here on the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick in studio. Zach Lang from DFO Edmonton, Daily Faceoff Edmonton, the new rebrand, joining us now. Zach, great to catch up with you. Good morning. And pretty big announcement yesterday with the Nation Network going to the DFO banner. And what has the reaction been like? And what can you tell people about the new branding that you guys have unveiled?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, good to chat with you. Yeah, pretty significant day for, for the Nation Network as a whole here. Changing over from Oilers Nation to Daily Faceoff Edmonton. It's kind of been something that's been in the works for, a little while here. And, I think when we kind of stepped back as the Nation Network and looked at where we were at the time being, there was a lot of brand confusion that was kind of going on for our team sites. Of course, we have Oilers Nation, Canucks Army, Flames Nation, Leafs Nation as well.
Yep.
So, a bit of brand confusion there between, the sites and then the NHL teams themselves, right? So I think we kind of looked at it and realized, at 18 years old Oilers Nation is, maybe it was time to make a bit of a change here and kind of go with something a little bit different. We're not really looking at it as like a rebrand specifically, more so kind of an evolution of, the company as a whole over the years here. And we're really excited about this. It's going to unlock a lot of opportunity for, the network as a whole here, and maybe even open up some expansion opportunities down the line.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been impressive to see how things have developed and evolved over the years, and the staff and the types of people that have been brought in under the Daily Faceoff banner. And I think Daily Faceoff has become a staple in any hockey fan's bookmarks page, and rightly so. How would you describe the way Daily Faceoff is perceived, maybe compared to a Nation, website or show or anything like that? Because I feel like there was a bit of separation there, but now it kind of falls in line with one another. Is that a fair way to look at it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, Daily Faceoff has been an absolute powerhouse for the Nation Network for a long time. Daily Faceoff, like, we've had it under the Nation Network banner since 2013, so it's been around for a long time. It's been a great place for a fantasy hockey hub for a long time. The line combinations of starting goaltenders, but in the last number of years, Matt Larkin and Stephen Ellis have, worked really, really hard to grow the news side of Daily Faceoff, turning it into what I think is one of the best media sources for hockey anywhere on the internet right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're really excited to be kind of, folding underneath that banner there. And I think what's most important too is that nothing really changes for us here locally, in the city of Edmonton. We're still going to have all the same shows. We're still going to have all the same podcasts. We're still going to have all the same articles. The only thing that's changing is the name. So people can expect the same shenanigans from us that there's always been.
So with Daily Faceoff, and I'm obviously very familiar with the Edmonton chapter, but is there now expansion to other markets? Like, I think, is there a bit of like Irf Gafar with in Vancouver
with the Army, right?
With the Army,
yeah.
And I think is doing more Daily Faceoff stuff as well. Like, is there multiple different chapters, just so I can kind of be more familiar with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Oilers Nation becomes DFO Edmonton, Flames Nation becomes DFO Calgary, Canucks Army becomes DFO Vancouver, and the Leafs Nation becomes DFO Toronto. Yeah. So we're already well established in these markets here, in Canada, and I think the one thing, down the line that it opens up the opportunity for is maybe, some other Daily Faceoff locations opening up in the States and stuff like that as well. So, that's kind of a big picture down the road sort of an item for the company. But where we're at right now is, going to be just transitioning over some of the names here in the next number of months, and continuing to do what we do to continue to grow.
Zach Lang with us from DFO Edmonton. Okay, internally, and then before we dive into the Oilers stuff, Zach, but internally, I saw Bagged Milk's post, and he's had a long run there, obviously, with the Nation. Very proud of what you guys have built up. How did the guys, the long timers, the lifers, handle the rebrand? Because it feels like it's a bit bittersweet because of how proud they are of what they had created and built and established in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been difficult, I think, to say the least. Jay Doughton, who helped found the Nation Network and Oilers Nation all the way back in 2007, he's definitely been emotional about all of this, to say the very least. But, he was on, one of our shows, The Sauce, yesterday, and, kind of said that, some of those emotions behind it are kind of gone, because there was time to mourn. changing over from Oilers Nation. But it's a bittersweet day for sure. I mean, I've been with the Nation Network for 10 years now, full time for, 6.5. And even for me too, it's been, a bittersweet sort of a thing, but I guess everybody's got to grow up at some point. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now with this.
Yeah, it's the next step, and I think it'll be just fine. And it's kind of neat. And actually, the rebranding pretty crisp, pretty clean. And you look at it, and you're like, yeah, Daily Face-Off makes sense. But I suppose, like, if you're just a fan and don't really dive into the media stuff, you kind of would just be like, why, or what are they doing? But it does make a lot of sense, and I'm pretty sure this is going to work out quite well. All right, Zach's with us from DFO Edmonton. We're a month away from training camp. I know the rookies report on the 11th of September. Main camp gets going on the 16th. We have our first preseason game on the 19th. It's Bellsy's shaking his head over there.
Yeah, I am shaking my head because I was just, when we were on break, I was looking through just Instagram and I saw the Champions Hockey League, and I said to the boys, I'm like, could you imagine playing competitive hockey right now? And they're like, no. And I'm like, either can I. But they're playing. It's happening.
Exactly.
And it's getting so close, and it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we're going to have guys back in town soon. So, Zach, what are you guys focusing on right now at DFO Edmonton? I know we can fight all day about fourth liners and 12th forwards and why 3 goalies is smart, but what is the focus lately at DFO at Edmonton?
Yeah, we're working through some of our off-season series right now. We're running a 31 question series right now through the month of August. Our prospect writer Spencer Pomodi is working on a top prospect countdown right now, kind of getting into the mid-teens there, and just kind of starting to look at plucking away at some of the storylines that we're going to see heading into next season. So it's kind of a bit of a slow time for us at DFO Edmonton here for sure. But we're going to be ramping things up here really quickly as we get closer to the season. So, pretty excited for it. And if you guys think that that's coming up soon, with the Champions League too, the Finnish Elite League is getting underway here right away as well. And Oilers prospect Daniel Salonen is playing over there. Their games start like right away here in the next couple of weeks as well. So, it's kind of crazy. It's getting to be that time of year.
It's honestly, I played in Europe for a couple of years, and I've played in the Champions Hockey League, and there's nothing worse than going from, July golfing, getting a workout or two in, to 2-a-days when you get overseas, to playing immediate, like, competitive, like, hockey. And I don't mean like competitive in the sense that, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
These are high stakes games, because every one of those regular season games matters so that you can move on to the next round.
Money's on the line.
Money is on the
money.
line. But if we're talking about some of the prospects, like, who are some of the prospects, I guess, in the Oilers pipeline that, have you guys excited?
Well, I mean, I think there's a really interesting storyline developing here in the last couple of days with Emil Vinny, right? I mean, I don't think anybody was really expecting him to be signing over in North America, inking the AHL contract with the Condors. It's really interesting when you look at the goaltending ranks for the Oilers right now. Obviously, we're going to have the three-headed monster here in Edmonton, but I kind of wonder if, we might see something similar in the American League with the Condors. They got veteran Matt Tompkins there, 32 years old, got 1 year left on a 2-year contract right now. Connor Unger had a really great season last year. I know he was talked about a lot. Granted, most of that was in the ECHL, but, even in his brief showing in Bakersfield, he looked really, really good. And, there was a couple of guys in the ECHL too that were great. I mean, Samuel Johnson had a really solid season. Nathaniel Day still trying to find his way, but, had a good year there as well. So you kind of sit back and you look at it and you say, man, well, where does Vinny really fit in at the moment, right? And, of course, there's always the option of, ECHL loans or AHL loans as well to kind of get these guys ice time. It's exactly what happened with Unger last season. But that's definitely a storyline that I'm kind of following here, to say the very least, is the goaltending story for the organization as a whole. The Oilers have really struggled to draft and develop goaltenders over the years, and Vinny was a second-round pick back in 2024. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. But I think the Condors as a whole are going to be really interesting to watch. A team that's getting younger here really didn't make any off-season moves with a bit of youth wave coming up here, through the Oilers prospect system. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens down there. Bo Oiki, can he continue to take a step forward? Does Ike Howard, make the NHL team? You got guys like Quinn Hudson, Viljami Marjala, a lot of young guys down there that are kind of trying to find their way. And of course, Connor Clattenburg, who, as a 5th-round pick has kind of surprised a lot of people with how quickly he's adapted to the pro game.
Zach, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Quinn Hudson and his situation, because I see a lot of fans that are like, they got to get Hudson up here. They got to get Hudson up here. And then when they do, like, he gets opportunity, but not a ton. And then you talk to people internally and they're like, yes, lots of offensive upside, but we're not sure how much it translates to the NHL level. But there are some fans who will watch Condors games and will read everything about them and are adamant that this guy needs to play. But I get the sense that he's got an uphill battle within the organization. How do you look at his predicament?
Yeah, I think he's got an uphill battle too. I mean, an older prospect coming out of the NCAA ranks. I think it's pretty easy to just look at the stat lines last year, from Bakersfield and see, how strong he was offensively. But, we've seen it time and time again. AHL guys have a lot of success producing offense, in the American League, but really can't transition that game into the NHL. I mean, Seth Griffith, a veteran guy down there for the Condors, is a really good example.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a consistent point producer, for the Condors over the last 6 years. And is not a guy who can come up and play in the NHL. So I wonder if there's maybe a little bit of fear from, the organization on Hudson's side about his ability to translate his game to the next level too. Yeah. So it's certainly a different animal stepping up from, the AHL to the NHL. I think when it relates to the Oilers, it's really going to come down to how does the coaching staff want to utilize this lineup, right? There's a lot of competition right now in training camp, or there will be a lot of competition in training camp for those bottom 6 roster spots on this team this season. So it's going to be interesting to see because, all of the talk from, Mike Babcock and DJ Smith has been, about spreading out the minutes and limiting, how much time guys like McDavid and Draisaitl are playing and trying to find some roles and responsibilities for these depth guys on the roster. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see the way that kind of gets put into action, when the preseason gets going. And then, of course, early on in the regular season.
This is just a follow-up, and it's a thought, and it derived from conversations I've had with people in and around the organization here and other organizations that are probably also guilty of this. But I get the sense, especially with some NCAA guys, that promises are made but are not delivered upon. And Belzy's rolling his eyes. And why are you rolling your eyes?
No comment.
Okay. Zach, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting to think about. I mean, you sit back and you look at some of the college signings over the last couple of years from the Oilers. Look at a guy like Ike Howard, for example, too, right? I mean, the story out of Tampa Bay was that, he felt like he was NHL ready. The Tampa Bay Lightning didn't feel like he was NHL ready. Howard's around for, what was it, like something like 30 odd games in the NHL last season and then spent the rest of the year in the American League. You look at like Owen Michaels, for example, signing like a pro-rated 1-year contract with the Oilers at the end of last season, kind of hangs around the team. And, now it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to start in the American League more likely than not. So I kind of wonder about that too, because, we've seen the Oilers sign a couple of these, late season guys. Damian Carfagna was another one of those too. A couple of years ago too. So yeah, it's an interesting thought. I never really thought about that.
It's just putting it out there into the universe. Rutger McGroarty is another one that's a more notable one. Go ahead, Belzy, continue. You're shaking your head. You're exasperated.
I'm laughing at that one. What I'm actually curious about though, because a bit to Tommy's point, but you bring a guy like Lepinen over, and he had a pretty good season. He had 38 points in 53 games. I think fans were at one point were clamoring for him to be up with the big team.
Yep.
But now you're in a spot where you're 8 deep. Does he get an opportunity to showcase what he can do, or is he just kind of now forgotten and he's going to be back down in the minors? Because once again, he did have a pretty good season, and he came with a little bit of fanfare last season.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who was producing a lot of points overseas when he arrived in Edmonton, and he looks like he adjusted to the North American game, fairly well. But again, he's an older guy, kind of late 20s, right? Like, what's the upside there in the NHL, really? Think back to a guy like Cam Dineen a couple of years ago, right? Like, came into the Oilers organization in the I think it was like the Nick Bukestad, Michael Kesselring trade a couple of years back. And, he's a guy who's, an AHLer. Like, he doesn't really have a lot of NHL upside. Plays a couple of NHL games towards the end of the last season or 2 years ago. And it's like, oh, wow, maybe there's a guy there. But, a 4-game sample size is a lot different than an 82-game slog in a regular season, right? And I think at the end of the day, a guy like Lepinen, you're just looking at somebody who's probably organizational depth for you. I mean, they got a nice team down in Bakersfield as well. He's somebody who does have some upside, and who knows, maybe, there's a couple of injuries along the way and he steps in and all of a sudden it becomes a bit of a story to follow in Edmonton here. But, with how deep this Oilers blue line is right now and the logjam that they have with the 8 defensemen right now, it's hard to see a path for a guy like Lepinen to playing, any NHL minutes in the future.
It's fun to talk about, though.
It
That's
is.
why we do it. Hey, Zach, time flies when you're having fun. I continue to say that because it's true. And this segment blew by. Best of luck with the new branding. I know you guys are going to continue to crush it. You will too. And we're going to be doing this again soon, okay?
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you. And we'll be having a bit of a funeral to Oilers Nation in late September. We're going back to our roots down at the Pine downtown. So we'll have a chance for everybody to come out and have one last final send-off to Oilers Nation this year.
I saw Rick's post yesterday, and I was like, he probably put it out there with a tear in his eye.
Yeah, I think we've all had a tear in our eye about this one for sure.
Tears of joy, my friend. It's going to be great. Thank you as always, and talk soon, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
There's Zach Lang, DFO Edmonton. A lot of people know Oilers Nation. You see the decals on the back of vehicles in and around the city. The fist in the air with the oil drop.
Pull those things down.
Well, you got a new decal to get. And yes, I am saying decal deliberately because that's how it's properly pronounced.
It's not decal?
No. We've bastardized the word in Western Canada.
How about that?
They're trying to steal my decals.
My decals, son.
It's
hard,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like a hard turn.
Yeah.
Mid
Decal
word.
sounds better.
Does it?
Decal?
A decal.
It's a decal.
I think I've always said decal.
Decal is the
Decal.
proper way to say it.
Yeah. I lived in the States. So a lot of people are like
Decal just sounds like I'm mispronouncing Declan's name.
Kind of. Yes.
Next up on the show, we got Declan Kruger coming in to talk some college football.
That sounds way better if you go. We've got Decal
Kruger.
Decal
See,
Kruger.
that's way better.
Oh, that guy's got some attitude.
Put that on the list for your future children's names, Tommy. Decal Gazzola.
I'll think about it. Thank you for that suggestion.
You're welcome.
You know what that reminds me of is, did you guys watch was it the Kevin Hart roast? When The Rock comes up and he starts roasting Draymond Green. He goes, man, that's the laziest thing ever. Your parents, all they said, you're Raymond with a D.
Oh, those are so over the line, but funny. That's not a bad over the line joke.
It was a
but
good one.
Yeah, that was good. Those are funny, those roasts. All right. Okay, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, in or out with Brando right here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
We're cruising along on a Thursday. It's the Tom Gazzola Show. Thanks for being here with us, whether you're watching on YouTube, maybe you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, the AM dial. It works too, to varying degrees depending on where you are. That is the limitations of a transmitter. However, wherever you're partaking in this fine show, we appreciate it very, very much. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Fenwick with you. Mike Malott will be joining us at 10 o'clock. UFC fighter. He will be a co-headliner at UFC Fight Night, October 17th at Rogers Place. Very excited to have him in studio and chat with him. But we do need to get to In or Out with Brandon. Brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. Their annual garage sale and swap meet is Saturday, August 15th. Catch the Twin West Crew stunt team performing 2 great shows and score huge deals on parts, gear, and clothing. Find more at hdedmonton.com. Here we go.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Figured it was about time we dip back into the evergreen pool of summertime Oilers talk.
Ah, yes.
It's been a pretty chill week on that front, Tommy.
That's fine.
You touched on it with Kev the other day a little bit. Listen, this is a sports show. It's not an Oilers show. But
Thank you.
We gotta circle back every now and again. There is a glutton of bodies inside the Oilers' bottom 6, and names like Janmark, Frederick, Doc, Joseph, Szymanski, Howard, Clattenburg, and even others, all vying to find themselves a spot and, of course, playing time at the NHL level this upcoming season. Of this cluster, and you can, take your pick about what name should or should not be included amongst this group, the most likely to have the highest time on ice. Now, this is an average time on ice, total time on ice by season's end. I think it's Colton Dach.
Interesting. Are you in or out on? Do you want me to take this first?
You can take it first.
Okay, I'll go out. Not that I like it, but this is what I think will happen. I think it'll actually be a veteran like Janmark or Frederick that ends up with more actual time on the ice this season just because they've been in the league a while. And I know people are kind of done with Janmark.
That's the general sentiment I've
yeah.
got this summer on the text line as
Yep.
well.
And I see it. I get it. Listen, he's getting older. The offense isn't there. The penalty kill was awful last year. He was part of it. He had a bum shoulder all season. I think he had a bum shoulder for the last couple of seasons, to be honest with you. Maybe he comes in refreshed, didn't play a ton last year, and maybe Mike Babcock sees value in that. I don't know if that's what happens. Same with Trent Frederick, but and listen, Trent Frederick had an awful season. No denying that. His contract's still baffling. Okay, I'm with everybody on that. It really is.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. Yeah. He's been a good hockey player. He's put up numbers in the NHL, but he had a crap season last year. Okay. I somehow think that one of those two, because of how long they've been in the league, wins over the coaching staff to a certain extent. And to answer the question, plays the most time on the ice in the season. Not average, but literal time on the ice.
Yeah, I'm going to go out as well. Love the points with Janmark and Frederick. Two guys actually that spark my curiosity are Szymanski and Howard. Szymanski, when he played, was actually pretty solid in the times that he was on the ice. And yes, he was new to the NHL and he was still trying to figure it out. But he provided like energy. He provided a good spark. He was solid defensively. Mm-hmm. Was there mistakes? Yes, there was. But for the most part, what you saw from him was positive on the defensive side. His scoring, yeah, sure, we could probably have conversations about that. But just from the defensive prowess, I'm like, that's an interesting player. So what did he do in the offseason? Did he get stronger? Because that's one of the things. He got pushed off a lot of pucks. Did he get in the gym, get bigger, get stronger? All those cliches.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah, he is. So can he come in and have a better season, be more impactful? Because if he does, and he did do that, I could see him getting, more minutes. Howard, well, the question is he going to be saddled with Connor or Leon? Is he going to get those opportunities? Because he's a guy that can score, but at the same time, he hasn't played a full season in the NHL. He's played like 30 games, I think you mentioned. So does he get that opportunity? And if he is saddled with those guys, well, you know how many minutes those guys are going to get. And if he has, let's just argue 15 goals, or let's say not, we're not going to say that. We're going to say he's got 10 goals by Christmas time.
That's huge. Then he's playing the most.
Then exactly.
Then it's clicked and it's been a good trade or early returns on the trade and people are generally satisfied.
Yeah, Howard is the real wild card in this because he could either cement himself as a top 6 scoring option or he spends half the year in the American League continuing to develop that skill set, right?
My answer, I guess, would be under the guise of thinking Howard maybe doesn't pan out.
That's fair.
I don't want to be negative.
I really think that of like say, take your pick of whatever pool of names you want to include here. I think there's a case to be made for almost any of them.
Sure.
Yep.
I lean to Doc because I think he can touch the game in a few different ways that makes him a staple in the lineup almost every night. And the little bit of skill upside, maybe some scoring touch. Does he get those occasional looks higher in the lineup outside of, say, a fourth line energy role when someone's cold or when someone is hurt? And can he make the most of that to, once again, keep himself in the lineup game to game? The other thing for Szymanski is his biggest bonus, and maybe Doc can creep in this too, to play fourth line center. Someone has to take draws in that fourth line. And as of right now, I think it's a big question mark on who's going to be doing that. Szymanski should have a very good opportunity to take that role based on what we saw in the limited looks last season.
Ulsterman texted in real quick, says, boys, Babcock hates rookies. They better show up with 2 phones each for a chance. I know that's a joke, but the hating rookies thing kind of factored into
it. I
but
think,
he's a changed man, guys.
Well, that's...
Is he?
Did he ever say that? I think he wanted us to believe it, but he never actually say it.
Yeah.
And Doc, and listen, if you want to go the coaching opinion route, big player, Western Canadian kid, plays the game hard and with size and with some physicality. Seems to me like a Babcock type guy.
And that's why I kind of went with Szymanski too, because
he fits a similar mold.
Right? Like, yes, he's a rookie by,
definition.
But his defensive game will lend itself to Babcock because I think he appreciates those guys.
I think it's very, very valid. And as I said, a case to be made for almost any one of these players. We'll talk a little bit more hockey before switching over to football. Another stop on our offseason Mount Rushmore tour. We were in Tampa yesterday where it was a surprisingly contested debate about who fills out the last couple spots on the Lightning's roll. We'll head down the coast a little further to Miami today for the Panthers. I think it's Barkov as a no-doubter. I'm going 2 goalies, both Roberto Luongo and Sergei Bobrovsky, and then I'll give the throwback option to the legend Olli Jokinen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Belsy. So we were talking about this yesterday. It's like Tampa Bay has not been around that long, right? Expansion team nice. They have had obviously a ton of team success. The Cup in 04, the back-to-backs here in this decade. It's like, man, there's a lot of really good options. It's a surprisingly thin field for Florida because the guys that just won the back-to-back Cups, most of them just got on the team like those years. They've only been there for a few seasons.
I fully agree with you. Barkov, lock.
Yeah.
Luongo, lock. Jokinen, lock. Bobrovsky is the interesting one for me. And while I'm going to say yes, I still think about like some of the players from yesteryear. And I'm like, Ed Jovanovski, for whatever reason, immediately pops into my head.
Right.
But I don't think for longevity's sake that he can be in the conversation because he ended up in Phoenix, he ended up in Vancouver, and he had long stays there, and he did go back. But I don't know if he could be one of those guys. Another one like Niedermeyer was there. Ray Whitney was there.
Rob Niedermeyer.
Yes, Rob Niedermeyer.
Ray Whitney's kind of a sneaky good one.
He is a good one. But once again, longevity wasn't there that long.
True.
So I think
not a single player has played 1,000 games in a Panther sweater.
Not yet.
Which like they're one of the newer franchises, but we're still talking 93 expansion. Like it's a long time.
3 years.
Barkov and Ekblad both 804 games played regular season as a Panther.
What about Van Briesbroek?
Yeah,
that's a good one. I'm in
too, but like those would be the names that pop into my head.
Okay.
It's almost the inverse of the Tampa one, where we're like trying to elevate someone to be good enough to get into that final spot, as opposed to yesterday, we're almost trying to like take away from the guys to say why they can't take the final spot. So it's weirdly inverse of each other for two similar teams' level of success. Over to football, Jaden Daniels making some waves this morning with a cease and desist sent to Louisiana State University, his alma mater, about using his name, image, and likeness, saying, you're not doing this, because he's essentially upset that the team has allowed sophomore quarterback DJ Pickett to wear his number 5, the number he wore when he became the college's 3rd Heisman Trophy winner in 2023. I read this. I thought it was an Onion article. I thought this was a joke. And my proposal to you guys, this is a very good contender, front runner for 2026 Crybaby of the Year award.
In. I don't even have to say anything.
And they brought up Joe Burrow as like a recent example. Nobody's worn Joe Burrow's number.
You know what Joe Burrow did?
Joe Burrow is another level.
Yeah, I
won
know.
a national championship.
That's right. There's a difference.
Massive difference.
I'm in.
Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback.
Yes.
But let's not mistake where we're at.
Yeah. You're not
you played 2 years there after already like a pretty like notable career at ASU. Joe Burrow, conversely, like he was at OSU, didn't really play though, right? Comes to LSU, gets his chance, leads them to arguably the best season in college football history, Heisman winner, national champion. They should not be. The only similarity they have is that they both won a Heisman Trophy to me.
Yeah.
And Daniel's numbers are great, but what in your right tells you to think that, oh yeah, just because I won a Heisman, my number should be retired and no other player should wear it? This is college football. There's 100 players on the team.
You're an NFL starter. You're making enough money.
They already use each number twice.
Yes.
And you're telling me you're like, just because you won a Heisman, that means that your number should not be worn by anybody?
But there's a whole like culture now of retiring jerseys.
But Brandon just outlined it. Like
I agree, but it's happened. And it's crazy that we're bringing this up because this morning I was on Twitter and I saw Michael Irvin talking about why he doesn't have his number retired.
He wants other players to carry on the legacy.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And look at what's happened. Number 88 in Dallas. It's an awesome number. It's an honor to wear it as a premier league best wide receiver.
Yep.
It's crazy. I like Jaden Daniels. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Finally, on the field, the NFL preseason week 1 kicking off full slate tonight across the league. There's not a lot of big storylines, in my opinion, so it's kind of slim pickings. The top storyline for this year's preseason, who will win the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback job? Is it Deshaun Watson or Shitter Sanders?
Out.
You got something better?
I'm out too.
Is it the Arizona Cardinals quarterback job?
I'm not that dumb. I'm not dense enough to believe that. I mean, even like Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy thing's more interesting than this Cleveland Browns.
Kyler Murray already won that.
I know.
It's already settled.
Yeah, it's settled. But I'm sorry. Anytime Cleveland Browns come up, I don't care. I'm just like, next.
They might be the most irrelevant franchise in the NFL.
Absolutely.
With one of the best fan bases in the NFL.
Dog pound, baby.
Dogs. I'm out too.
Yeah.
Because I watched a video of the Arizona Cardinals, and man, was that a train wreck.
They're gonna
that's a story.
Yeah,
Bell's like a
Bell's
blooper reel.
storyline is, will the Cardinals win a game in preseason or the regular season?
That's a storyline. Storyline is, will the Dolphins win the Super Bowl?
Shut up. Get out of here.
And another storyline is, what's going to happen in Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh's got a lot of interesting stuff going on there.
Fair point.
Rodgers is back. He's making headlines everywhere. DK's there.
Mm-hmm.
Could they find some chemistry where they go off and that offense is putting up crazy numbers? Their defense is elite. They got a new head coach for the first time in 20 some years.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody cares about the Browns.
No.
Thank you.
And if you're a Browns fan,
I still have this tiny amount after watching him in Houston that still thinks Deshaun Watson can be good. Terrible person, but can he still be like, he was like runner up for MVP?
Yeah.
And now he's just maybe the worst quarterback in the league. It's insane, but a little bit of an irrelevant topic because it's preseason. I'm excited to watch football though, including CFL Week 11 kicking off tonight as well. Finally tonight in Iowa on the Diamond, Twins taking on the Phillies for this year's Field of Dreams game. Always a cool spectacle. The corn outfield. We've seen some great moments at these Field of Dream games in seasons past. The next unique setting that a North American sports league should take a game. I'm heading to South Africa. The Newlands Cricket Ground. I just did a quick Google search, found a couple different articles and parsed through them. This place looks unreal. It's essentially right at the base of these mountains. Huge. It's a cricket pitch, so you could basically play whatever sport you wanted there in some capacity. You could play football, baseball. I don't know if they really play basketball outside, but that'd be interesting. I doubt they're playing a hockey game in South Africa, just a guess. So I scrolled through this list and kind of thought of a few different options. This one stood out to me as a really, really cool spot I'd love to see. We know the NFL always expanding, finding new places to play. Yeah. I'd love to see an NFL game get played here.
Go ahead.
Sure, but like they'll never do it. That's tiny stands, but it's like the mountain.
Just build more.
Yeah. I'm in too. I'm scrolling through this right now, and
crazy?
I love these stadiums that have unbelievable backdrops.
Yes,
like I think it's the coolest thing. So I'm fully in. But like Tom said, that's never going to happen.
Got to make that.
But a man can dream.
That cheddar, baby.
A man can dream.
And there were a couple other ones I saw that were really cool, but it's almost even less likely because of, as you said, seating and more difficult to build temporary seating.
Yeah.
This place, I think it would be possible to maybe build some temporary stuff to get at least another few thousand people in there. I had to look it up what the actual capacity is. It's a cricket ground, so you have to think it holds a lot of people.
I don't know much about cricket.
I know that it's the most popular sport in the world after soccer.
That is true.
So
that is true. That's in or out. Brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. Coming up next, we've got Mike Malott from the UFC. He's going to be highlighting, co-headlining UFC Fight Night October 17th at Rogers Place. That's going to be awesome. Looking forward to having him in studio to discuss. Before we get to break, we need to do a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 11 in the CFL kicking off tonight. The Lions in Calgary taking on the Stampeders. Underway 7 o'clock from McMahon Stadium. And some off-the-field news ahead of Winnipeg's game host in Ottawa tomorrow night. They have announced that Zach Claros will return under center as starting QB for the team. Brady Oliveira, however, will be a game-time decision. Lighter day in the majors with getaway day. Blue Jays wrap up their set against the Red Sox. 107 first pitch from downtown Toronto. Max Scherzer will take the hill for the Bluebirds. Elsewhere, White Sox hosting the Reds. Marlins up against the Pirates. Brewers take on the Dodgers from SoCal. And Field of Dreams games from Iowa as the Twins hosting the Phillies. Coming up in hour 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by UFC fighter Michael Malott. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
The second half is yours. Lock in your seat with our new 5-game season pass and get a $25 voucher. Half season, full energy. Get your season pass at goelks.com. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
Harley-Davidson of Edmonton is turning up the heat for their annual garage sale and swap meet. Catch the Twin West Crew Stunt Team live for 2 massive shows packed with smoke and fire. Plus, score huge deals on parts, gear, and clothing. Check out artisan vendors, local riding groups, and grab a bite at the food trucks. August 15th. 10 to 3 at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated since 1980. Find more at hdedmonton.com.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen. I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Saturday night's all right for fighting. Saturday, October 17th, UFC Fight Night, Rogers Place. It's going to be awesome. Every time the UFC rolls through town, it's a great time. I've been to the last two, one sitting in the stands, the last time press row. Absolutely amazing experience both times on different levels. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Mike Malott, UFC welterweight fighter. The round of clicks there right here in studio.
Yeah, here we go.
This is a special treat, and really a shout out to Neil and Kevin over at OEG for helping make this happen. And Mike, like, super excited to have you in here, obviously. And you're co-headlining Fight Night at Rogers Place. And I know, like, you're a Canadian kid. I know a lot of your fights, looking at your fight card, like in Canada, you play up the Canadianity, which is great. But how exciting is this for you to be co-headlining when you guys roll through Rogers Place again?
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. This is second main event in a row, which is just a dream come true, right? Getting to see, especially last time, like Googling UFC and scrolling across and seeing the names of each event, UFC 330 or whatever. And then you scroll across and like UFC last time, Burns versus Milan. Like, that's super cool, man.
It is.
Got my name on the docket. So yeah, getting to do that again feels like, feels normal at this point now. This is the way she goes.
Hey, it's like a home game every time for you, because your last fight was in Winnipeg. That was to that point your biggest fight, right? You pulled off the win.
Yeah.
You've got 4 straight victories. I think 10 of your last 11. You're on a nice heater here. Like, where are you at mentally with your game right now?
Yeah, I feel great, man. Like, yeah, super confident. It's nice to get a number beside the name consistently now. You know, I had a brief ranking last year after I won in Vancouver, but Islam moved up from 155 and bumped everybody down one spot, so I got booted from the rankings. So to be in the rankings consistently now and have a number by my name is awesome, man. This is exactly what I've gotten into the sport to do, to be, you know, the best guy in the world, and getting to get on that top 15 ladder makes it just that much easier to climb it.
So when you are fighting, for people that obviously haven't watched you, what is your style, your preferred style? Like, are you stand up, you're pointing basically in the center of the ring and say, let's bang this out? Or are you maybe more of a guy that wrestles and more technique based?
I think when I look at the best guys in the world, most of these guys have something that stands out about them. And I think the thing that stands out about me is I'm the highest level, most well-rounded guy in the division. So there are certain guys that are, you know, you can tell are very clearly elite level grapplers, and that's their specialty, and they stand out above a lot of the guys in the division in that way, or striking. I'm the guy where I'm super well-rounded and I'm comfortable everywhere and I'm dangerous everywhere. So I have 14 wins. 12 of them are by stoppage, so I'm obviously a dangerous finisher. I've gone the distance twice with 2 dominant decisions, but of my 12 stoppages, 6 are by knockout, 6 are by submission. So if I decide to keep it on the feet, I'm probably going to knock this guy out. If I decide to take it to the ground, I'm probably going to submit this guy. And if it takes picking him apart for 25 minutes, I'm comfortable to do that as well.
This is scary. Like looking at Mike in his eyes, like, oh my God. But
you're in trouble.
Yeah. But that's the other thing too, is like listening to you talk about strategy. I remember your last fight here, and I remember leading up to it and kind of getting to know all the fighters and the matchups and all that. I was like, this dude probably can do it all, but you look like I'm gonna say it just like, I'm like, this guy's probably a maniac. And
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just like my outside interpretation of just looking at you and listening to you talking. You're obviously promoting the fight and pumping it up, and the Canadian aspect of it. I'm like, okay, like this is very easy to get behind this guy. You're supposed to be impartial part of the media. I'm like, okay, I hope this guy kicks the crap out of the other guy, which you did. You won that fight, but
thank you.
But I was just like, okay, this guy is just insane. Do you feel like you have that kind of maniac vibe to you, or am I just being like, hey, you're Tom, you're so fresh to the sport, you're an idiot?
No, I think what it probably is for me is a little bit of, in a way, delusional self-belief and delusional self-confidence. But
that's a good thing, isn't it?
You need it in this sport, right? I can back it up with facts. Like I said there, I'm the most well-rounded guy in the division, but then I could back it up with, I have 12 stoppages out of 14 fights. So almost all my fights are by stoppage, and half are by knockout, half are by submission. Like, you look at the facts, that's extremely well-rounded, right? But to get into the sport, to be 13 years old and to say to yourself, like, okay, I'm going to go try my best to be a UFC world champion. Like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to dedicate my life to that goal. Mm-hmm. You have to be like a little bit of a psycho in order to like do that, like a little bit delusional. So
I'm not crazy.
No, you're not far off, man. Yeah. A little bit of a maniac, I guess. Yeah.
But in a nice Canadian way.
Nice Canadian ways. But like, so how did you get into the sport? Like, you just mentioned, like, you're 13 years old. Like, I don't know if that's actually true, but when do you have that realization? How did you get to come to that realization of, you know what, I want to be a UFC fighter and I just want to beat the wheels off of people?
Yeah. The first time I saw it on TV, and it was like a corny moment in a movie where it was like, you know, everything else slows down and lights, you know, dim down and the TV gets brighter. I'm like, whoa, you can do that. That's something you can choose to do with your life. Like, a human being can become that skilled. Like, up until that point, I knew there was like boxing and like, you know, I thought like as a kid, kung fu movies, that's like what elite martial arts was. Like, that's what a fight would look like if you fought somebody. I'm like, oh no, that's real fighting. Like, that's raw. It's not perfect and scripted. It's ugly and brutal and chaotic, and you have to find a way to harness that chaos. You have to find a way to like ride the bull, right? So I got obsessed with it right off the bat. I'm like, I need to find a way to do that, and got into martial arts very early on with the intention of fighting in the UFC.
Mike Millot with us, UFC fighter. He's going to be co-headlining at UFC Fight Night, October 17th at Rogers Place. And Mike, like, it's one thing to get in the octagon and fight, but as we've learned and we see, like, being a UFC fighter, MMA fighter, there's a business component to it as well. And one of the other things that I gleaned from listening to all the guys roll through and women roll through after their post-fight press conferences was how much of the focus after their fight was on the business side of things. How much mental wherewithal does that take to know where you are and to understand your contract and how that affects you go about preparing for your next fight? Because I find that to be a fascinating dynamic of your sport.
It has to be in the back of your head, right? But at the end of the day, you can promote yourself all you want, but if you can't win fights, you're not going anywhere. Like the most important part is winning fights and being dangerous. And as much as it's cool to talk trash and talk an exciting game, if your fight style is boring, it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, you got to be able to put people away. And I pride myself on being able to stop people. But yeah, you know, it's, some people, public speaking can be intimidating.
Sure.
But after you've just fought somebody, you know, fought your heart out in front of everybody for 15 minutes, getting on the mic seems like the easiest thing in the world, right?
For some people, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God, there's some characters in UFC, which is amazing.
Yeah, like so when I was training, we brought somebody in that would, you know, help us on the mat. Like we did a little bit of MMA style training and just to kind of understand like the cardio aspect of it. And so when you're going and you're starting to work towards your fights, you obviously get in your training camps and stuff like that. Like how long, I guess, are you training before you get to a fight? Is it, you know, like, do you have like a 10-week training camp? Obviously it's probably dependent on, you know, your schedule and events, but like, what is your training camp like, I guess?
I don't really take time off throughout the year. It's very rare that I just don't go into the gym. Like even after my fights, you know, if I'm banged up, I'll go in and do what I can. But I train year round. I find it crazy when people take time off just because they don't have a fight coming up. I think that's insane because there's so much to learn in this sport and it's all on you. So I want to be as prepared as possible and as knowledgeable and experienced as I can be. So I'm always training, but the last like usually 6 weeks is where we really gear things to not just developing skills in general or getting stronger or getting in better shape, but like what do I need to do in order to peak and what do I need to do in order to perform to the best of my abilities on a given night, right? So whether it's tailoring things to an opponent's like specific style, like if you're going against a guy who's, you know, 6'3" with an 80-inch reach, there's some things you're going to do differently than if somebody's 5'8" with a 68-inch reach, right? Like there's factors like that. Okay, am I going against a guy who's desperately going to try to get it to the mat or somebody who's going to like stick and move? Like those are things that you've got to keep in mind. Again, at the end of the day, I'm really selfish with my training and we focus on me primarily because at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to get in there. So I want my skills to be sharp, but you have to factor in like, what am I going against? What's the job here? Who am I going against? How do I tailor the skills that I have to the job ahead of me? Right?
Well, the job ahead of you is Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
And what kind of fight are you anticipating? What kind of challenge does he impose on you coming up here?
He's a world-class fighter, right? Like he's top 10 for a reason. Fought a lot of the best guys out there, certainly dangerous. But at the end of the day, I look at this fight and I'm like, I would much rather be me going into this one. You know, if I get to choose who I'm going to be, it's going to be me every time, right? So I'm betting on me. I'm betting on my skills. I like the skills that I bring to this fight. And yeah, I'm supremely confident I'm going to do really well in this fight.
I'm getting fired up.
No kidding. Flip this table. Let's go.
Okay, Mike, we're talking beforehand. Your brother plays in the NHL. I said that guy's an animal, but he's a big boy too.
Yeah.
What are the family conversations like with you in one sport and him in the other sport? Is there a more popular brother? Like, I'm curious about that dynamic because there's got to be people in the family like, well, I prefer talking to Mike because I actually like watching him more. Jeff's great. I'm very proud of him, but I'm going to go talk to him. Like, tell me about that. I'm sure there's like a little bit of competition as brothers have, obviously.
He's probably the more popular brother. You know, like you said, I'm a little bit of a maniac. I'm a little obsessive on things. And this, you know, it's probably like, all right, man, there's only so much fighting we can talk about before we want to talk about something else, you know? But yeah, he's a beast, man. He's a big kid. He's a decent amount bigger than I am. He's a force on the ice, super athletic, crazy strong. You know, whenever we work out in the weight room together or do like strength conditioning, I'm blown away by what that kid can move. But yeah, he's just like a workhorse. He's just the like the definition of just consistency and sticking to what you're being told to do and doing it the best you can. So yeah, he's a beast. And I love watching the kid play, man. That's my favorite thing outside of fighting. As soon as fights are over, I'm like, dude, I just want to get down to the States and watch him play a few games.
Of course. Older brothers are always the toughest, by the way. I would know.
You would know?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
bringing that up, the Vandermeer brothers, they're notorious for their fights amongst siblings. And they just always they beat up each other. And they're some of the toughest guys I know. So
From Caroline, Alberta.
Okay. So for you and your brother, obviously you guys are both in sports. He's obviously a massive human being as well. Were you guys more on the side of we're going to wrestle all the time? Were you guys more on the side of we're just boys the entire time?
I was 5 years older than him. So it was a bit more me just kind of picking on him at times if that were the case.
So you built him
a little, I toughened him up a little bit. He was like the little ratty little brother following me around, and I was too cool for him at the time. I wasn't actually that much bigger than him. He was always a big kid, and I was always the runt for my age. So we were closer in size, but if we'd ever wrestle or whatever, obviously I was quite a bit older, so I'd kind of throw him around. But then he, grew up a little bit, became a teenager and started becoming, a man and stuff. I'm like, oh, this kid's actually sick. And now he's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that too. Okay. I know you dipped into it a little bit, but the next few weeks leading up to the big fight here, what does it look like for you training wise and preparation wise?
Yeah. Locking in, man. I got some amazing coaches and amazing training partners that thankfully, dude, they put me first pretty much. So, tailoring around my needs and my schedule and just studying for me, how's this fight going to play out? What are the best ways that we can, exploit weaknesses or mitigate danger in my opponent? And so just kind of repping those things and honestly, a lot of it's going to be going to dark places and having some really miserable training sessions, but I'm here for it, man. This is what I signed up for. And if it means having a great performance on October 17th, which I'm positive it will, then I'm in.
I'm curious. Actually, it's an interesting conversation because there's a lot of guys that have been tough guys in the NHL for quite some time.
Sure.
And they would always talk about having sleepless nights, the night before they knew they had a big fight coming up. Do you ever have that same process? Do you ever have sleepless nights, or are you just, you're so comfortable with the training that you have that you're just I'm dialed in the whole time?
No, you have some sleepless nights sometimes, whether it's the fight itself or just you end up going down a rabbit hole sometimes of okay, how can I get a little bit more out of myself? How can I tailor things to be a little bit better? Should I be pushing more in this direction? Should I be trying these techniques a little bit more? Especially when you hit a point of overtraining, which tends to happen getting ready for these fights, that those sleepless nights tend to happen more and more, unfortunately. But yeah, man, honestly, sometimes you go into a fight zero nerves. Sometimes you go in more nervous than you've ever been. And I've had both happen back to back. And one thing that I've noticed is it doesn't really matter how you feel as long as you rise to the occasion in the moment. Because I've had two of my best performances back to back. One, I was the most nervous I've ever been for a fight, and I was feeling the moment a little bit. And then I had another one where it was the opposite. It almost felt too easy going into the moment where I'm like, dude, am I not as invested in this? What's going on? And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter how you feel. Go do the same thing. And I had two great performances back to back. So it doesn't really matter how you feel. Just get the job done.
Couple of texts to wrap things up here. EG, couple points, says, Mike, how's your weight cut going?
Yeah. Weight's already in a good spot. Yeah.
And he says, yeah, what a guest, Tommy. Agreed. And then Michelle says, this guy's confidence and energy is amazing. We can attest to that. Mike, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in today. I know you're a busy guy. You got a bunch of stops to make. Best of luck on October 17th. Look forward to being there and watching you kick some ass.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, excited to come back and kick some ass here in Edmonton, and tickets go on sale tomorrow.
There you go. Mike Malott, fantastic stuff. Canadian boy, and he's going to put on a show at UFC Fight Night at Rogers Place on October 17th. We got to step out for a quick breather. More on the way on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Kickoff is coming August 15th. Elks, Argos at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Family Day presented by Goodwill Industries of Alberta. Youth 17 and under get in free for an early afternoon contest. Conditions apply. Tickets and info at goelks.com/tickets.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. And don't forget about our employee pricing. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. Hire Good provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow, unreliable internet connections, so I signed up for Starlink. It's fast, reliable even in bad weather, and has made streaming for movie nights and online gaming so much better. The summer doesn't mean a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit av.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
All right, I'm pumped up. I mean, that was intense, awesome. And Michelle texted in when we had Mike Malott on. This guy's energy is through the roof. Like that was a great chat. It flew by. I'm excited. Like, not a huge MMA guy, combat sports guy, but I'm sorry. I went to the last two, like I said, loved it. And then to have him in here and the energy he gives off, fantastic.
Yeah, those MMA guys, they exude confidence, which is great, but there's like an energy, like it's an intensity.
Yeah. I mean, you looked at his eyes and you're just like, this guy might snap at any moment. Oh my God. But then he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. It's incredible. Like we hear about the mental game for pro athletes. I feel like in my experiences, we had Max Holloway in at 1260. He was fantastic to talk to as well. But the type of focus that MMA fighters have to have, or maybe even boxers too. I know obviously different sports and different respects there, but like he said it, you have to go to dark places.
Without question.
And it's like I'm thinking Batman here. Like Batman has to go to dark places. But
that stuff's it's so impressive. Because there's obviously there comes with a focus that you have to have. There has to be a skill set, but there's got to be that want to do it as well. And I think that's what makes it so impressive is that you're getting into this ring and it's like you're closed off and you've got to figure out a way to survive that. But you've got the training that you need to have to be able to do that. And like I said, when I was with Body by Bennett, we brought in a MMA fighter to just like teach us some grappling.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, Kate, you guys are going to wrestle. And he's like, we're going to do 5-minute rounds. You ever tried to wrestle for 5 minutes?
I'm sure you're exhausted.
Exhausted. It's crazy.
Very cool. UFC,
and that's without throwing punches.
Without throwing punches, just grappling. UFC Fight Night, October 17th. It's going to be great. And looking forward to seeing that. Mike Malott, thank you to him for coming in. And he will be fighting Joaquin Buckley. That's the co-headliner. On the women's side, I think they had to change out one of the fighters. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to go back and read. But anyway, it's going to be great. If you haven't checked it out, I know it's not for everyone. Completely understand. But if you have an opportunity to, I think you will be entertained. And like I said, the UFC is a very well-run, well-oiled machine in how it operates. It's the show, the glitz, the glamour, the efficiency is impressive. So it should be great. Looking forward to it. The last one was fantastic. I know that they brought in Dana White was there, but I think they brought in the second in command, and they asked him, and the MMA reporters, obviously they travel and they're with them all the time. So they're on a different level than just like the local people that go to cover. So you let them take care of the questions essentially, unless you have something that you want to ask. They were so happy with how well that fight night went that they were like, yeah, we're coming back here. You know, they said it was one of the most successful fight nights. And I know it's not like a main card or a big UFC event, but the fight nights are
It's a very popular sport. Very popular.
And they're important. And when a community embraces it the way Edmonton has or Alberta has, there's a willingness to come back relatively soon. And that's what they're doing. So not surprised. And like Mike was saying, tickets go on sale right away here and you can get yours. And hopefully it's fairly priced and well attended.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Brando, what'd you think? What do you and Fenny think there?
I liked it. Yeah. It's pretty much everything you guys said about the intensity and like presence, right? It's as soon as a guy like that steps into a room, you take notice without him even having to say anything, because obviously the physical intimidation of the he's obviously jacked and he's a big dude, but then when he starts speaking, it's so calm and he's not rah or anything, but everything he says is with such purpose that you just naturally get fired up. And as you said, like you want to throw everything you got behind him and support him. And the fact he's a Canadian guy, it makes it all the better. So I'm pumped. You and I were talking about it a little bit earlier, Tom. I'm not a huge UFC guy. It can be a little bit much for me if I'm picking a combat sport to watch. Boxing would be maybe a little bit more up my alley. Man, this might push me over the line. When this rolls into town in October, I may very well have to make my way down to take it in, because as we said, there's something different about seeing a combat sport up close and personal and in person in any regard that really changes your perspective on it.
Yeah. What Mike was saying before we went to air, when I'm like, yeah, you're up close and you hear the crack of a punch or a block or whatever. And he goes, it's the TV and as good of an audio system that you might have and surround sound or whatever. It doesn't do it justice.
No.
Yeah.
It never will.
Yeah.
Never will. Because there's so many, you have commentary, right? You've got that going. You can hear the fans and you're trying to get the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But like the rawness that you'd have in the ring, you don't hear. Hear pieces of it, but nothing. Like when you're getting kicked in the leg, like, you know how hard those are? Like, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah. It's
gotta get them mic'd up, have them wearing lav mics.
It's now that would be amazing and a technical nightmare, I'm sure, for audio guys and girls out there that would be like, oh, that would be terrible. But it is cool to see the production side of it as well, because they do have obviously the handheld cameras. There's a couple guys working ringside, and they have a couple different spots, like they move around and stuff, obviously, and then they have like a robotic camera up top, and then they have one that can like come down from. They set up a thing like a scaffolding or a hoist above the ring, and they have a camera that can move around as well, kind of like a cable cam or sky cam or whatever that you see in football. They have like every angle possible that they can move to and cover, and like the cameraman can get through the fence and like really close, like the really skilled guys that obviously follow them know how to work all those angles. So and Brando, like the mics are right there. They're basically in the ring without being in the ring. So they're capturing as much of that sound as close as possible.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a really neat production. And again, not for everyone, but I've thoroughly enjoyed both experiences both times I've been through there. So thank you to Neil from the UFC and Kevin from OEG for making that happen, and for Mike to come in and be in studio with us for 15, 20 minutes. Absolutely tremendous. Montana to Rice, mocking my Cardinals because I mocked the Browns earlier.
I mocked the Browns.
I also mocked the Browns. I'll take ownership of it.
Yeah.
Said Tommy is an Arizona fan saying Cleveland is irrelevant. Yikes. Yes, I know. I know what my team is. Very bad, but I would think it's more relevant than Cleveland. I'm totally biased, obviously.
I'm gonna double down on this. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, like, who hurt you?
Well, ask Jack that.
Like, why do you need
the
that?
team? The teams who hurt them. Like,
Yeah,
it's a toxic relationship. It's
Who
a
hurt
cycle.
you? Why did you decide to go be a Cleveland Browns fan?
Well, there was a time.
This is coming from a Dolphins
years
fan.
ago that they were good. Montana to Rice, he just has NFC West resentment. he's really diving in here. Cleveland is more relevant. Fans way better too. No, they're not as friendly as Arizona fans, because win or lose, we still booze, and we're very happy that you just had a good time.
The dog pound actually is great.
It is.
The fans are
rabid fan base.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I will say that, but the team has been insufferable for a long time. Like, who's the most noteworthy player that's coming out of the Browns world?
In recent
Myles
years?
Garrett?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one.
Okay, but
anybody
he's out.
else?
How is Nick Chubb doing?
Done. It's over.
Yes.
We watched him in Houston last year after that leg injury. That was talk about
Devastating.
UFC being gruesome.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
that was gruesome. Yeah,
that was pretty gross. Jarvis Landry.
He's a Dolphin.
Lifer. When he gets enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame,
He'll be a Dolphin.
What hat will he be wearing?
Dolphin.
Yeah. Browns. Joe Thomas.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay. There you go.
Right.
That's a good one.
Nobody ever remembers the O lineman. They need a little shine too.
They do. They need the love.
The fact the fact he stayed there that long is what is crazy. It's like he was one of the best in the league, and it's like, I'm just gonna hang here in Cleveland and try and protect a different quarterback every third game for 15 years.
You know, you got to you talk about being in the right mental state to do that over there for that long. You got to be in a certain type of mental state. Cat Dad has a couple of quips there. It says, Jim Brown. There's been a few people when talking about Cleveland that go back to Jim Brown. First of all, Jim Brown, like, when did he play? 50s, 60s? It's been a while.
That wasn't even this iteration of the Browns.
That is correct.
So if we're talking franchises versus team, you got to pick some hairs apart there. But
you know what's funny is people are saying Johnny Manziel. Multiple people saying Johnny Manziel.
That.
Yeah,
he's a bigger Tie Cat.
I'd say Alouette more than Tie Cat.
There you go.
Yeah, that flamed out very
quickly on both sides of the border.
It's just, yeah.
No, you can't say Money Manziel.
No, absolutely not. One last one to wrap up the MMA talk, and with Mike Malott coming in here. Kyle says, not gonna lie, it's a little weird not hearing the commentary watching in person, but it's such a cool experience. Already secured my pre-sale tickets for October 17th. Yeah, so
beautiful,
very cool. Big thank you again to Neil, Kevin, and Mike for coming in to talk a little MMA and tee up fight night on the 17th. It's going to be great. We're going to be back to wrap right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365 right after this.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Do you know why people love working at GS Construction? It's honest work. It's work that needs to be done. And we're really good at what we do. That's why GS Construction has been in business for over 50 years. We won't be wearing a top hat and tails, more like hard hat and boots, because we're heading underground to keep the water flowing in and out of your homes and businesses in Edmonton. GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and top men. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged, and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Sad that it's almost over. It's been that good of a show today. So much fun. Lots of great engagement. Fantastic texts. Wonderful choice of final song, Brandon. Well done. Well done, sir.
That was good.
Yeah. Sean Bell, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Connor Spivak with you. I'm Tom. It's been such a quick show. It's so many great guests. Lots of story time. Lots of laughs. Some intensity. All over the place, but in a good way for a Thursday in midsummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before hockey season starts.
Well, I mean, tap the brakes there.
Well, I can't.
When do you guys already did your ID camps, right? Or do you have more coming up?
Oh, that's it. They're done. They're the worst.
All right.
They're the worst.
They're not even tryouts anymore,
No.
are they?
No, they're not.
ID camps.
They're ID camps.
Yeah. Soft. I'm saying it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, man. But that's the hockey world. And it is just around the corner because there's places starting. I think within less than 10 days, people will be in the respective cities
Yeah.
for the WHL, OHL, the Q. I think guys are going back to the NCAA already, their respective schools. It's almost here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, even yesterday we went golfing and the sun was down at what, like 9?
Well, this morning, I walked out. Man, it's cold. It had some chill in the air this morning.
I think we're only getting to like 17 today. Was it still smoky out?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, that's good. Because it was a bit smoky this morning.
Like, what happened to our summer?
We didn't have one. We had like 6 nice days.
Yeah, it's tough.
I know.
Real tough.
Frustrating. Very frustrating. Josh in St. Albert was asking about DAZN being the best to watch the NFL, or is there another streaming platform you would recommend? I know, Brando, you responded to him, but that's interesting because we used to, not very long ago, you used to have like almost every game that was live available on the CBS channel, ABC, NBC, and then you go on TSN. And then now you're down, they've limited it to
I think it just depends. Like, are you a full cable package type person?
I still have a robust cable package.
Then at that point, you
reason.
will get a lot of games, most games, but
there's a lot of repeats though.
That's the problem.
That's what the problem
is.
Yeah, like the same game is on 4 channels.
That's right.
Right? As opposed to, and the question specifically, I think, if I read it correctly, was about streaming options.
Yeah.
Where, like I've used DAZN for like 10 years now.
Yep.
Where it's NFL Sunday Ticket, which I think you can technically still get also, but I don't know if that's a cable add-on as opposed to a streaming, service package. So you get every game. They're on demand. What I like about it, like I use it through an Apple TV in my living room. You can do split screen, so you can have 4 games on at once and then just kind of toggle the sound between each one. So I like to usually go red zone in one corner. If the Texans are playing in the 11 o'clock slate, that's my team. So one there, 2 other games that I'm really interested in, and then maybe one more game on my laptop hooked up to the monitor on my coffee table. So you're kind of getting, and then you just toggle the sound, because football is such a stop and go game compared to try and watch like 4 hockey games at one time. It's a little bit easier, in my opinion, to actually keep tabs on what's happening in all 4 games at once. That's just my opinion. It is pretty expensive, and just like everything else, the price keeps going up for it. But keep in mind, if you're interested in CFL, having every CFL game starting next year, you're going to need DAZN anyway.
That's true.
So you may as well dip into it now and test it out.
You said that was Sunday Ticket?
That's what it was called in the past, right?
Or is it now just Red Zone?
Well, Red Zone's different because now Red Zone has its own channel. There's just a Red Zone channel, and I guess technically the NFL Network or ESPN owns that now because it was an NFL Network product. I'll be interested to see how that shakes out because I haven't dove into it too much. But no, NFL Sunday Ticket is a package that you would get that essentially where you can just, it gives you all the channels and you watch every single game at your leisure. Okay. Like it's all, as opposed to just this primetime game is on CBS. This is the feature game on Fox and like cable channels. NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch every single game when it's on, I think probably on demand too, which is essentially, streaming.
That's a lot going on the TV at once. I will do multi-screen, but I'll have my laptop with one game. And sometimes I'm watching a CFL game and an NFL game, depending which teams are obviously involved. But that's like the extent of what I can do. And then if the Cardinals are playing, I suffer through it. Montana to Rice.
You got to watch. They're your team.
Yep.
I have not subscribed to DAZN. I've found alternate methods.
So illegal pirated streams.
I didn't say that. I just said alternate methods.
Tom the criminal.
I just said alternate methods. Interpret that how you will. Fenny, back me up on this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
You just gave me finger pistols. So.
Yeah. I totally agree because, well, listen, Tommy, you and I are in very different tax brackets. I basically require these opposing options.
Yeah, Josh,
I cannot afford much anything else.
Josh can't even afford to take us to the Szechuan Castle.
Well, KK's taking us.
Well, but Josh already has one banked before that.
Oh,
you're not technically a part of that one, but you can still come.
Like I said, you feel free to come.
Can you guys help me with these alternative methods?
Yes.
I'd love to know.
Don't do it, Belzy.
I think I'm going to fall into it.
You're an adult. You can
I'm a man.
Yeah,
I'm 40.
40. What were we
Fact.
like illegally streaming games and TV shows and everything when I was in university, and every dollar I had just went to the bar instead? Like, I'm an adult man. I can find ways to cut back in other areas of my life that allows me to
Really? Are you going to get rid of booze?
I don't drink as much anymore.
Okay, well,
Ask him how many he had over the weekend.
Yeah, how much you have over the weekend?
That's like a once a year thing. It
Oh.
was a lot, but
He deleted what, 80?
no. That was when I was like younger. This
Oh,
would have
okay.
been probably like a 30 to 40 type.
That's
beer
a healthy
weekend.
amount.
That is a great. That's
a light Friday night.
So you're not cutting back on that.
But I was at a slow pitch tournament, so once a weekend. I really like lay it all out there, maybe a few times a year now. Weddings, which are cheap to drink at, because if it's not an open bar, usually it's a toonie bar.
Yeah.
Especially coming from a small town, all the ones I go to are. And then like the odd concert, or maybe you'd go as a fan to an Oilers game once a year. I went to the Ducks Oilers playoff game, game 2 back in the spring, which was great for me as a Ducks fan. And so like it's $30 a month. You're telling me that per month I buy one less 24 pack of beer, and I can watch 4 football games at once with no issues of, I got to get out of these ads and put computer viruses on my computer and on my TV.
It's good to have
you eliminate all that. And I'm not saying the app's perfect, because it crashes, and we know that from Sportsnet, despite the fact they keep raising the prices too. There are still hurdles, but I'd rather clear those hurdles than having to mouse click 100 times to exit out all the ads.
Yeah, that's
open new tabs, yada yada, on and on. I'll suffer that. I'll make sacrifices so I can do that, because watching sports and watching football, not only a part of my job, it's one of my actual passions. Like it's a hobby. It's what I like to do. So,
Or we can just forego all of this, and we just go to an establishment that will have all of it and libation.
And that
Also
costs
true.
more, but yes,
but
it's
the
more
games
fun.
are free.
It's
The
enhanced.
games are
So
free.
instead of-
So now you're getting rid of the price and the cost.
Belzy,
of
what do you
this.
think costs
That
less?
sounds like fun.
$35 a month for a streaming service, or going to a bar every Sunday in that same month? So call it 4
Well, based
Sundays.
off what you drink every week,
Come on now.
it'd be the bar, actually.
Sunday brunch.
Yeah, let's go for a quick one.
Yeah, but when you're having good times with good people,
This is true.
it tends to lead into
All
a
right,
long
you
one.
won me over.
I don't know.
I'm staying.
I'm still I think of like, I got to pay this to watch and suffer through another Cardinals loss, or I can just, I'll find
You're
an
probably better off
alternate
getting rid
method.
of your cable and then just going to zone.
Maybe. I've thought about this. Like but I locked into a contract earlier this year, which was a stupid thing to do.
Classic Bruce Cassidy move.
Right?
You
At least,
suck.
But he's making you want to talk about a tax bracket? He's making $4.5 million.
Yeah, he is. He's making
American.
4 sheets.
Not bad. Not bad. Belzy, what's coming up for you this weekend?
Oh, I think I'm going to the Elks game.
You should.
1:00.
Yes.
Does it storm at 1:00
No,
usually?
it's supposed to be nice on Saturday.
Oh,
Last I checked.
okay,
it
well,
was gonna
knock
be
on
nice.
wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood with that. No, I'm going to go to the Elks game.
Check the weather.
Enjoy it. It's been fun. Elks are going to win.
They need to bounce
So
back.
They do. That's what I've got going on.
Sunny
this
and
weekend.
23 on Saturday.
Oh, maybe bust out some shorts.
You've got great legs.
Thank you. Strong calves.
If you want to win a pair of Elks tickets, text in Elks, just the word Elks, to 1-833-401-1440. We give them away all week long when there's a home game for the Elks. And they're coming off a couple of tough losses. That one in Montreal, certainly, call it a swift kick to the sensitive male area, if you will.
To the Richard?
That's right. And they're looking to bounce back. The Argos, great offensively, high risk, high reward. Maybe defensively, there's some struggles there. Maybe some areas that the Elks can expose. I know there's injuries that are coming into play heading into this week. We'll get the injury report later today from the Elks, but I think like O'Donnell could be questionable. David Beard's got another issue that's holding him back. There's a few others. Kenny Logan Jr. is out. So we'll see what the final injury report looks like. But I still think the Elks could prevail this weekend. So if you want to go to the game, the weather's looking great. And we're giving away pairs of tickets all week long. 1-833-401-1440. Boys, what a show. What a show. That was tremendous. So much fun. I got a kick out of it. Big thanks to Mike Malott for stopping by. UFC Fight Night, October 17th. Tickets go on sale right away here. And then we announced a big concert. Did you hear that?
No.
You and Belzy can go back to Commonwealth Redemption.
That's right.
Tommy won't do it.
He's out. He's done.
He's scarred from
I'm scarred.
the Post Malone.
Yeah,
Scared?
a little bit.
Is he scarred or is he scared? Or is he
He's
scared?
scared.
Is he
He's
scarred?
scared.
Is he scarred from being scared?
Anyway, maybe by May 29th, 2027, I'll be ready to go to Luke Combs at Commonwealth Stadium. Don't you laugh at me.
We do a little team trip, Tommy.
We can
Eddie
do
can
that.
tuck his jeans into his cowboy boots.
That's for Eddie Steele to do.
Yeah.
Does
that's-
Eddie have cowboy boots?
Yeah.
He tucks them in.
Really?
But he doesn't have jeans that can go over it, so he tucked them in when he went to Morgan Wallen. last
That's
summer.
a wild thing to
It
do.
was crazy.
Yeah.
He got torched for it, both online and on
You know
this
what? You might
radio.
as well just put a Speedo on and have your cowboy boots as well. You put this little Speedo, a vest, a cowboy hat, forego the jeans.
Some people like that. Some
Yeah.
people like that. All right, that's going to do it for the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Time now for a sports update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here's Brando. Have a great day, everyone.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 11 in the CFL kicking off tonight with the BC Lions down the highway taking on the Stampeders from McMahon Stadium. Kickoff coming at 7 o'clock. And off the field, CFL news, Winnipeg Blue Bombers taking on the Red Blacks tomorrow have announced that Zach Claros will return as the starting quarterback for the game. Brady Oliveira, however, will be a game-time decision. Lighter day in the majors, just 9 games total, including the Blue Jays, wrapping up their set against the Red Sox, looking for a sweep. First pitch just after 1 o'clock, Max Scherzer taken to the hill for the Bluebirds. Elsewhere, 3 games set to get underway just after the top of the hour. Tigers hosting the Guardians. Reds in the south side of Chicago against the White Sox. Marlins playing the Pirates. And later on, Yankees up against the Mariners. And the Twins will take on the Phillies from Iowa for this year's Field of Dreams game. First pitch just after 5:30. Watch that one on Netflix. Live Golf. Unknown, uncertain future growing even further as John Rahm, former world number 1, expected to depart at the end of this current season. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is The Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.